It's time for North Dakota high school football. This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, the Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Now, it's time for the countdown to kickoff on the PSP Network.
The two best 11 AA. Number 1 Century Patriots tangling with number 2 West Fargo Sheyenne. An undefeated matchup. Good to have you on the PSP Network fans tonight. Hello again, alongside Chuck Claremont. Todd Johnrey's joining you from our 1 versus 2. You don't get a chance to do these very often, so we're excited to bring you this fantastic matchup tonight.
Absolutely, TD. These teams have been talking about it since the preseason, or surely West Fargo Sheyenne. A couple state championships back-to-back, you tend to say, I don't look at who I played. You know, I look forward to who am I going to play when I get to the state championship if that happens. So it's a big matchup without question. Obviously, you have the QRF rankings come into bit. Right now, these two teams are 1-1. Century number 1, Sheyenne number 2. And anybody who knows anything about QRF, it's basically how the playoffs are going to be seeded when you get to the end of the season. And right now, the winner of these two games could potentially have home field advantage through the first couple games of the playoffs. So it's a big game, even though it's a rematch of the state championship the last 2 years. It's still a big game when it comes to what's going to happen this year. Yeah,
and in all likelihood, as you pointed out, this is really for the number 1 seed in the playoffs. These two teams will be at home regardless, but this one will set the stage for somebody to be the 1 seed, and the other team who's not victorious tonight will be the 2 seed in the upcoming playoffs, which, hey, they're right around the corner. I mean, the leaves are turning, and we're about ready for playoff football time here in North Dakota.
Hey, you got 2 weeks. You got this week, really is a non-conference, if you want to call it that, it's East versus West and across the matchup this week. And then next week they get back to playing guys where maybe the games really matter in terms of within their division. And so ultimately, that's crazy to think that it feels like it just started, Todd. It just feels like it was August, and now we blink and the leaves are falling and it's cold. It's cold inside here, even though it's colder outside.
Yeah, this one should be a dandy. Our pregame will roll on in just a moment. We'll give you the tail of the tape. We'll preview the matchup. We'll highlight some of the key players in this matchup. We'll take you around the 11 AA scoreboard tonight and give you an update on which games we'll be tracking on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. And we'll give you the latest AA football poll in North Dakota. Number 1 Century tangling with number 2 West Fargo Sheyenne. More after this timeout on the PSP Network.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online.
Memories never fade, especially from a high school rivalry game. Hi, I'm Brock Shook with First Western Bank and Trust. Throughout school sports history, the familiar names and faces may change, but legacies live on, achievements remembered. As your community bank, First Western Bank and Trust. Jim, First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Got big plans? No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options, and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
BNC has been here for
Always happy to see you.
We build relationships. You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
Yours truly, BNC.
Todd Darmish, Chuck Claremont back at Mustang Field in West Fargo. Good to have you on the PSP network tonight as we get set for number 1 Century. 7-0 on the season, 4-0 in WDA play. And the homestanding West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs, number 2 on the latest 11 AA poll. They're 7-0 on the season, 2-0 in EDC play. The head coach for the Patriots is Ron Wingenbach. Jeremy Newton mans the Century or the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. And Chuck, let's get into some of the keys right off the get-go here as you start thinking about what has happened in the last 2 times these two teams have played, which was in the state championship game at the Dakota Bowl. But, hey, if you're the Mustangs, you got to find a way to put some points on the scoreboard, number 1.
Yeah, you start slow, right? Start low. Have a low bar. Let's score first, and ultimately you talk about that. These last 2 times these teams have played, the 2019 state championship, Century shut them out 10-0, and then last year was a whitewash. The Patriots won 34-0. They ran going away, but it was the turnovers. It was 8 turnovers, and then the Mustangs, who really were known, they were leading the state in rushing, a yardage a game, over 300 a game, were held to 85 yards, and that's kind of been the mantra of these 2 teams. It's like sometimes teams, they just don't change. The Patriots come into this, it's their defense that's been carrying them, even though their offense has been scoring 35 points a game, and for the Mustangs, it's their rushing offense that's really been pushing them along. And they've struggled throwing the football this season, but it hasn't mattered. So ultimately, when you look at these teams, TD, I feel like West Fargo Sheyenne, they
and one of the keys for Sheyenne has to be to get off to a good start in the football game, maybe score some points early.
Yeah, and ultimately they deferred, which is maybe surprising a little bit, but they won the toss, chose to defer, and so the Patriots are going to get the football. And to me, their first offensive possession, they need to get something. It doesn't have to be points necessarily, but they got to be able to move the football so they can get some confidence on that side. We heard some kids, even from the West Fargo Sheyenne football team, make some comments, TD, about, gosh, I hope we score this football game. Well, that's not the bar you want to set for yourself.
Well, and the 2 teams have excellent defenses, and it's a thing that you're going to have to think about right away is there going to be a lot of points scored in the contest tonight, because these are 2 high-quality defensive units.
When you look at these 2 teams, the Patriots are the number 1 defense in the state of North Dakota. They're just giving up 8 points a game and 56 yards rushing. We mentioned that, and just 130 yards passing. So defensively, they have been absolutely carrying themselves.
We will introduce the cheerleaders
throughout the season, even though their offense has been doing okay. And for the Mustangs, it's their defense, too, that's been extremely good this year. 8-0, or just giving up 8 points a game. They had 3 shutouts, Todd. A couple of the games, they just given up 7 points. So they really are, even though it's undersized defense, you take a look at the numbers behind these kids, and man, they fly around the football, but they're not the big, strong group of kids like the Patriots are. It's kind of 2 different types of teams, but this West Fargo Sheyenne, the defense, they've made it happen. As you talk about just giving up 8 points a game, and I got a lot of athletes throughout every level of that football team.
At this time,
2 other games we have tonight on the PSP network for you. We'll have Bismarck High taking on Legacy, and then also the Minot Magicians will be tangling with the Jamestown Blue Jays. Those are your other games tonight on the PSP network. Here's the latest AA football poll in North Dakota, 11 AA that is. Number 1 Century, and West Fargo Sheyenne is number 2. West Fargo Patriots are Packers are number 3. Fargo Davies is number 4, and Fargo Shanley number 5, and no other teams receiving votes. There's your top 5 in 11 AA football in North Dakota. Take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll dig into more of the particulars as we're getting set for the kickoff. Our countdown to kickoff on the PSP network. Century and West Fargo. More after this break.
glasses? See clearly with LASIK from Bismarck LASIK. Imagine no more hassles or expenses of glasses and contacts. At Bismarck LASIK, our highly experienced LASIK surgeon, Dr. Stephen Wexler, and our state-of-the-art clinic can improve your vision through a quick corrective procedure that's affordable and life-changing. Book your free consultation with Bismarck LASIK. Call 701-222-2020, 701-222-2020, or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
This live digital radio broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at PSP.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
The North Dakota Safety Council is dedicated to preventing injuries and saving lives by offering hundreds of safety courses. The NDSC helps workers return home safely every night and make sure schools are ready for any emergency. Our first aid training and defensive driving courses help save lives. We empower people through personal protection courses and operational risk assessments for businesses. We're a private, nonprofit organization committed to making North Dakota's homes, schools, communities, workplaces, and roads the safest in the nation. Learn more at ndsc.org.
Have real questions about your future? Here's your real answer. BSC offers hands-on training and a real college experience, making your future a reality. You don't have to travel far and wide for a really great education. Check us out at bismarckstate.edu.
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter at Network PSP and on Facebook at The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network, it's game day.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics. Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics. Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
This live digital radio broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at PSP.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Got big plans? No matter what the size.
and Mustangs will defend the south goal.
Todd Darmrich, Chuck Claremont, Logan Forsyth back at Mustang Field in West Fargo, getting set for the Century Patriots and the Cheyenne Mustangs in a matchup of 1 versus 2. Century winners of 29 straight games. They've been in 4 out of 6 state 3A title games, and this is the matchup that everyone's been waiting for. And right now we're going to enjoy the playing of our national anthem. Honor America. Not every chance in our broadcast we get to do that, but tonight, give you a listen to our There's your Cheyenne Pep Band bringing you our national anthem tonight as we have a pretty good night for football, Chuck. Obviously, temperatures now have dripped down into the 40s and a little northwest wind here, but all in all, not a bad night conditions-wise for this high-profile matchup.
No, I think from a player perspective,
And now,
it's great.
ladies and gentlemen,
46
it is
degrees
time
is
to
very
introduce
comfortable, Todd, and the winds have surely
starting
lightened a
lineups
little bit.
first
Now they were about
for the
15 before game time, but now they're down to about 7, so it's really going to turn into a very nice night for football, absolutely in the player standpoint.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First off, for the Century offense, as West Fargo Cheyenne won the toss, they deferred. So here's your starting Century offensive unit. Up front, you got Jacob Burkhart, the junior at 270 pounds. The right guard is Lucas Schweigert, the returning first-team All-Stater. He's a 270-pound senior and the recent signee for
the Fighting Hawks, baby, right?
That's right.
Gotta love that. Oh, my new favorite player.
Jaden Braun is your center. He's a senior at 260. Your left guard, Jackson Wall, is a junior at 235. Joel Edlin mans the left tackle position. He's 270 and a junior, so Century real big up front. 270, 270, 260, 235, 270. Remember those numbers as we get to that Cheyenne defense. As your tight end is Kyan Sorensen. He's 175-pound junior. Connor Trahan's your senior split end at 195. Jacob Renz is a 160-pound senior flanker. Jacob Bosley is a 160-pound senior flanker. Then your fullback is, Bosley is your fullback at 185 and a senior. Peyton Arndt is a tailback, 175-pound junior. Then Brady Dahl is your senior quarterback at 195 pounds. Chuck, let's talk about Brady Dahl just for a second. He's really been coming on these last few games for the Century Patriots.
Yeah, he's just getting more and more confidence throwing the football. Really, that's the key to me is he's always been a good runner. Big kid, 6'1", about, they say 195, but you talk to Coach Wingenbach, he says he's probably tipping 200, probably 205, and ultimately he runs very hard, runs downhill, hits a pop, but it's throwing the football that really has been really what he has improved as this season has progressed, and I think that's the part that's really probably looked at the Century coaches that have maybe made them smile the most is they've turned into some, actually thinking a little bit of a threat throwing the football now.
And your Cheyenne High School defense for Jeremy Newton looks like this. They play a 4-3, so up front you got Jacob Kirkaby as a defensive end. Theron Parson is the defensive tackle. Andy Cook, the nose guard. Carter Menz, a defensive end. Your linebackers in that 4-3, Nick Renner, Matt Tribe is the guy that's going to be on a lot of hits tonight for Sheyenne as a middle linebacker. Tanner Hagel is a linebacker. Then your corners, Noah Olson and Brady Dutenheffer. And your safety, Tate Gustafson and Kellen Entz for the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. And Chuck, run through those weights up front for those guys up front, because we mentioned how big Century is up front, and then Cheyenne's a little bit undersized on that defensive front line.
Yeah, that's one of the pieces to me. We talked about just the matchup of kind of strength and speed, if you want to call it that, as the Patriot offense goes 270, 235, 260, 270, 270. So they're averaging 261 pounds per guy up front when those main five guys. Then you look at the front four for the Mustangs, so they play that 4-3 defense. Kirkaby's at 210, Parsons 225, but Cook and Men's 190 and 180. So they're averaging only about 200 pounds per guy. And so really it's got to be the speed against size. But I also know the Patriot offenses, they got a lot of athletic guys playing that front line. So really, to me, what's going to give? You got 60-pound weight advantage average between these guys. Even the backs are averaging 190 pounds for the Patriots. So size is definitely going to be a potential issue, and we're going to see how that plays out in this football game. It feels like everybody for the Mustangs are 185 to 190.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks to Medicine Shop. They're proud to support local athletes, and they offer free delivery. You can get your flu shot also at the Medicine Shop, proud sponsor of tonight's game. Also, bringing you tonight's game is Tires Plus. You can't go wrong with Tires Plus. Visit them online at TiresPlusND.com. Chuck, before we get started with this one other thing is the kicking game. It's a huge component for the Century Patriots. They've got one of the best in the state in Paul Osmond, and kicking has been an issue for the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs.
Well, I know I'm a numbers guy, but these things are, you look at them, they are glaring as working teams, 26 yards a kick, Osmond 39. So really field position, Osmond has been doing a tremendous job this year, kind of flipping the field so many times. Even when the Patriots, they haven't got backed up too many times, but when they do, Osmond, he's got a great leg, averaging almost 40 yards a kick, and then he can kick off. He has had a number of touchbacks. I would imagine the average is probably about the 5-yard line at best, and that he's kicking the football maybe inside that. And then you got this other side. You got Birnbaum. He's kicking the football to about the 27-yard line. And so when you got the return threats that in Renz and Berjolfson and Arndt that the Patriots got, that's a big deal. So the kicking game, to me, Todd, could be a tremendous difference in this ball game tonight.
Century will be receiving in just a moment as West Fargo Cheyenne deferred. Cheyenne will be kicking into, what did you say the game time weather report was?
It was 46 degrees and 7-mile-an-hour westerly winds.
It felt a little bit more than 7 when we were out there.
Yeah, you look at the flag across and it's basically limp right now.
Okay, so it has lit up a little bit, so that's a good thing. Is beautiful night for football as Isaac Birnbaum gets set to kick off for West Fargo Cheyenne. Back deep to receive for Century is the two guys you just mentioned, Chuck. Peyton Arndt and Ryan Brynjolfsson, a pair of juniors back there for the Century Patriots. Birnbaum in the bunch formation. Official gives him the signal, and now number 1 versus number 2 just about set to kick off from West Fargo tonight. Good to have you tuned into the PSP network as Birnbaum with a run-up, and we are underway. A short end-over-end kick is going to be fielded by an up man for the Century Patriots. Looked like it was Jacob Renz as he grabs that, slips a tackle, and he gets it out to the 38-yard line. And Century, right away, Chuck, will have pretty good field position at the 38-yard line. Special teams hit there by Ty Brewski for West Fargo Cheyenne.
A little kind of pooch kick, try to kick it high in the air. Renz got it at the 30-yard line. Just an 8-yard return, but what great field position, GD. We talked about the 38-yard line already to get going for the Patriots.
Senior Brady Dahl will lead Century out of the huddle. And the Patriots will come out with twins to the far side, the short side of the field, one receiver to the right. High snap handled by Century and a handoff to Peyton Arndt. Not much there as he squirts through a right side hole, and Theron Parsons is there to belt him down after a gain of 2.
This is a kid in Theron Parsons, Todd. People in Bismarck probably remember that name, Parsons, as Nakiah Parsons. His father was a Hall of Famer out at University of Mary, went on to play at the Dakota Rough Riders. He was a stud there too, and you're going to hear his name a lot in this Theron Parsons.
Century 2nd and 8. Dahl rolling out to his right. They set the edge, throws it deep down the near sideline. Down looking for Jacob Renz, and it's too tall for him. Step for step with him was the free safety, Kellen Entz.
It's one thing, these guys in the backfield. Gustafson, the strong safety, Enns, the free safety, Dutenheffer, the cornerback, and Noah Olson, just a sophomore, but really good athletes in that back. And you got size with Gustafson at 6'2" and Enns at 6'4". So really, the matchup in terms of the guys in that backfield, the Sheyenne Mustangs, they like their guys back there.
Century breaks the huddle, and they will bring Schmidt in as a receiver on the far side and trips to the right. Dahl out of the gun on 3rd and 8. Rolling to his right. He's got pressure from behind. Fires it into the slot looking for Hinderer, and that's incomplete. Century will have a 3 and out, and they'll be punting it away as Tanner Hagel was on the coverage, the outside backer for West Fargo Sheyenne.
He's down with his shoulder too, Todd. We'll see, as there have been a lot of shoulder injuries for this Sheyenne Mustang team. As a matter of fact, they've got a couple guys that are out for the season, and James Hagan, a 2-way starter that really hurt, that he had a shoulder injury, Ty Schlichting early in the season, and there you had Hagel kind of walk off or with that right shoulder.
Paul Osmond back deep into punt formation. Puts a right boot into it, a high wobbling kick, and it's going to bounce. It's going to be touched and picked up by West Fargo Sheyenne, and then getting belted immediately was Tate Gustafson. He gets mowed under by a host of Century Patriots, and here's your West Fargo Sheyenne starting offense up front. They'll look like this. Mason Hart, your left tackle. Sam Carpenter, your left guard. Oakley Eagleson, the center. Right guard is Dawson Galdi. Right tackle's Brennan Selheim. Split end is Xander Newton, along with the split end Logan Holsing. And then your running backs, you're a lot of these names tonight. Connor Entz, Race Wilson, Josh Henricks, and your quarterback, the returning three-year starter, Grant Workentine. Little bunch formation. A wing tee, snap, and a handoff. And there goes Henricks. Squirts off a tackle, and he's got a good gain. Past the 35, out to the 39-yard line. Give him 5, maybe 6 before he's hit down there by the defensive end, Jackson Walls.
Well, Henricks is a load, TD. 5'9", but 245 pounds, and he already showed there. He ran through one arm tackle and backed his way into a great gain of 8 yards.
Yeah, give him 8. 2 yards to go for a first down. They'll motion and hand it off Race Wilson off right side, and he's got a hole. He's going to have a first down out to the 43, make it the 42-yard line. Smothered down there by the middle backer, Jacob Bosley, but that's the Sheyenne Mustangs, Chuck, on schedule here on 1st and 2nd down.
Well, they're going to run the football, and then they're going to run it some more, and then when you think they're not going to run it, they're going to run it some more. And Race Wilson's a kid who came in after Caden Rahr got hurt as that slot back, and boy, he's really had a great season thus far. TD, 178 yards, a touchdown just the last few games, just a sophomore.
You'll see a lot of this double wing formation. Another handoff to Race Wilson, and he's got a hole. He's got the sideline to the Century territory, to the 40, and he's sprinting into Patriot territory down at the 36-yard line. Big gainer for Wilson. Knocked out of bounds by Jacob Renz, and Sheyenne is on the move.
Well, I don't care how much. Oh, they're actually going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 36-yard line, but I don't care how many times you watch film against these guys. There's some speed. Race Wilson got to the outside, Todd. Boy, he little boated out to the outside, and he almost went all the way.
Workentine out of the pistol. This time, handoff, and coming near side was Connor Entz. Another good gain. He's got 3. Give him up to the 31-yard line. Stuck there by Jacob Renz, but Sheyenne running the football effectively. Here's your Century defense up front. Jacob Burkhart, Lucas Schweigert, Jackson Walls, and Jaden Braun. Your linebackers are good ones. Ben Mansmith, Jacob Bosley, and Seth Nelson. Your corners, Ryan Brynjolfsson and Jacob Renz. The safeties, Braden Hendricks and Connor Trahan. 2nd and 6. Handoff to the big fella. The bowling ball, the 6-foot, check that, 5'9", 245-pound running back, Ryan Hendricks. Josh Hendricks, I beg your pardon. Tag team hit there by Ben Mansmith and Jacob Bosley after a short gain of 2.
Almost a little bit of thunder lightning, Todd, is where he's that quick back, jumped over a couple guys the last couple times he's ran it, showed his speed, and then Hendricks, well, he's not going to juke you to death. What he's going to do is stick his head down and run right through you.
Well, 3rd down and a long 3. We'll call it 3rd and 4. And it's going to be a handoff to Race Wilson. Tries the wide side, cuts it up, puts a foot in the ground, and drives it up the hash marks for a first down inside the 25 to the 22. goes Race Wilson, and an impressive opening drive here for Cheyenne with 8:49 to play in a scoreless first quarter. Hit made there by Ben Mansmith.
And Race Wilson, he started in that left slot, and that's what is this kind of a weird offense in that the Mustangs ultimately have Hendricks at fullback right behind the quarterback, and they bring motion either one of the right or left slot backs, and they can cut up, they can cut it outside, they got all kinds of options.
Handoff Hendricks, dances in the hole, stutter steps, then he's gang tackled as he gets inside the 20. Mark him down off the left side to the 18-yard line. Schweigert wraps him up there. But another 3, maybe 4 yards on first down for Cheyenne.
Yeah, and you talk about plan to plan, and that's what the Cheyenne Mustangs, they like to do. I mean, they're just going to keep handing off. They get 3 yards, they're okay with that because most likely they're going to be in those 4-down territory. They've only punted the football, I think, 8 times the entire season, so they are definitely going to go 4 downs every time.
Same formation, wing it up again, but this time rolling out is Workentine. Looking into the slot, and he's got his favorite receiver, Xander Newton, catches it at the 8, falls ahead to the 6, first down before he's wrapped up by Seth Nelson, and Cheyenne has it first and goal.
Good action, faked the handoff to Hendricks on the inside, and the quarterback rolled out to his left, squared those shoulders, and then Newton was lined up at the left tight end at actually formation, just kind of did a little out pattern. Good throw by the quarterback, Workentine.
Snap back, Workentine hands it off, and there goes Hendricks. Not much there. Got spilled at the 5-yard line, just a short gain of 1, maybe 2 yards for Hendricks.
And this is where Century gets big. Is they have had early in the games, like even with the Bismarck High drive, the first drive last night, they had a nice drive with the Demons, and ultimately, they just kind of toughened up. And this is a piece here now where we'll see if the Century Patriots can see if they can respond.
Second and goal from the 5. Opening drive of the game for the Mustangs. Workentine. And he hands it off, and there goes Race Wilson. Not much there again. Got maybe to the 4, just inside the 5, and he's hit high by Schweigert and dropped immediately.
Schweigert came around behind him, actually, Todd. He was at that left tackle, or the right tackle slide. He came in behind his, missed the blocker, missed him, and then he grabbed him from behind and pulled him right down. I think Wilson, he saw blue ahead of him. I think he was thinking, hey, I got a chance for pay dirt, but the All-Stater, two-time All-Stater, Schweigert, was up to the task.
Third and goal from the 4. Century's defense is stiffening here. Can Cheyenne take advantage? Misdirection, and there goes, and into the end zone is Entz. He skipped through a tackle. He walked in untouched, and the Mustangs have put points on the board against the Century Patriots.
Well, they had been going right side all day. This time, fake that handoff to Hendricks, and they have Connor Entz, the slot back, coming from the right to left. And you're right, Todd. He just waltzed in the end zone, almost untouched. So what a great drive. Started at their own 31-yard line after the 3 and out for the Patriots. And the Mustangs showed, hey, we are completely up to the task, as they had, 10 runs and 1 pass in that 11-play drive.
Cheyenne on top. They come out for the extra point, and it is blocked. Birnbaum's extra point kick is blocked, and we'll have a touchdown timeout. Cheyenne has taken an early lead here with 6:21 to play in the first quarter, and we break. A touchdown timeout on the PSP Network. Good to have you on board from West Fargo.
Especially from a high school. Memories never fade, especially from a high school rivalry game. Hi, I'm Brock Shook with First Western Bank and Trust. Throughout school sports history, the familiar names and faces may change, but legacies live on, achievements remembered. As your community bank, First Western Bank and Trust celebrates your victories with you. We want to wish all the local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this season. Be safe on the court, field, rink, and in the gym. First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, if the Cheyenne Mustangs needed an early confidence boost, they just got it with an opening drive touchdown. Short kickoff again. This one's fielded by Jacob Renz. And good field position again for Century as they're going to take it out to the 36-yard line. But that was an impressive opening drive there, Chuck, for the Cheyenne Mustangs.
11 plays, 69 yards, 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Picked up 3 first downs on the way. We said 10 rushes and 1 pass. And you called it in the pregame, Todd. Hey, West Fargo Cheyenne needs to see some points on the board. Well, they were on an 8-quarter shutout right away. First time they touch it, they go length of the field.
Well, now can Century answer the bell here on their second offensive possession? Dahl will hand it off right side. There goes Peyton Arndt. Bounces it outside, cuts at the 40. He's cut down near first down yardage as Arndt gains 8. Good hard run there by the junior tailback. He's cut down there by Brady Duteneff for the corner.
That's the speed of Peyton Arndt, TD, as it was designed to go off tackle, and he just bounced it outside and showed that 4.45 speed to get to the outside. Good tackle by the cornerback Dutenheffer, just short of the first down.
Century got off the ball a little bit better there than they did the first possession. As 2nd and 1 for the Patriots from the Cheyenne 45-yard line. High backfield behind Dahl, off tackle, and there goes Arndt. He has a first down as he nears midfield. Grabbed onto and hit there by the outside backer Tanner Hagel, but give Arndt a first down up to the 49-yard line.
I like how hard Arndt hit that hole as a lineman. You just love that, as you don't have to have a big hole when you got a running back that hits that hole so quickly. And just a short pickup, but it's a first down. One thing, too, Tanner Hagel, we saw him kind of limp off, or not limp off, with his shoulder. He's back in the game. It's good to see.
Century will hand it off on a wide side jet sweep, and there goes Jacob Renz dancing through tackles. That's a good effort there by Renz. As nobody did finally get him down. He finally got pushed into the Cheyenne bench as he's into Mustang territory. With a good run there and a gain of 5, maybe 6. Give him 5 on first down. Renz, I'll give him 6 actually on first down.
Yeah, that jet sweep. Last week he had 2 of those runs, Todd. One went for 56 and a touchdown. The second one went for 28 and a touchdown. So his average per carry is going to go down a little bit, but ultimately still a good run on first down for Renz.
Century sends a couple receivers left. Tight end to the right and an eye backfield on 2nd and 5 for Dahl. Straight ahead handoff, and Arndt is bottled up. A loss on the play as Peyton Arndt goes back to the 48-yard line. First guy to put a hat on him there was Nick Renner, the outside backer.
It's one thing, you watch the film of this Cheyenne Mustang team, a lot of tackle for losses. They got guys shooting in, very athletic linebackers. That time it was Nick Renner getting in the backside of a pulling guard.
Trahan, Renz wide to the left, Hinderer wide to the right. 3rd and long for the Patriots. Snap back, play action. Dahl looking, lots of time. Now he throws it deep, and that pass is picked off. He was looking for Trahan deep, and it's picked off by Kellen Entz, the free safety for Cheyenne.
Probably one of those throws he might like to have back, Todd, but sometimes what you do is you just trust your kids. And Connor Tran at 6'4", he said, you know what, I'm going to throw it up and see if we can't have a 50-50 ball. But Kellen Entz, he's 6'4" as well, and he went high up in the air, high-pointed it, and came down with the interception.
BNC National Bank scoreboard, 6-0, Cheyenne leads with 4:23 to play, first quarter. Cheyenne off for the interception by Kellen Entz will take over 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. And they just drove the length of the field against number 1 Century the last time the Mustangs had the football. Bunch formation, wing T once again, and before we get started, flags fly as did not see a flag come in, but it's maybe the sticks weren't set.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was.
Bunch formation, the wing T. Snap is back to Workentine, and a handoff goes to Henricks. Tries the right side and maybe gets to the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage is the 14, and he's hit there by, guess who, the first-team All-Stater, Lucas Schweigert.
Yeah, Schweigert, it shows how good this kid is at defensive tackle. He leads their team in tackles at 54, and so ultimately is just a guy at defensive tackle. He's just an actual man among boys, and he's got 3 tackles already tonight, I think.
And we'll give Henricks 2 on first down as clock winds down to 3:50 to play here in the first quarter. Good to have Chuppy Clinic on board helping sponsor tonight's game. More than just basic adjustments of the spine at chuppyclinic.com. Connor Entz off the left side this time. Well, Cheyenne's doing a pretty good job walling that off as Entz has good yardage, maybe 4 or 5 yards before Jaden Braun, Ben Mansmith wrap them up.
A lot of double teams, Todd, where you got the left tackle and guard, they're double teaming the linemen down low and saying, okay, hey, we're going to have a one-on-one tackle with the linebackers. And right now, these fullbacks and these slot backs are running very hard and picking up good yardage every time they touch the football.
3rd and short for Sheyenne. They fake some motion there by Entz, and what do we get? Somebody from Century might have jumped. Yeah, that's going to be encroachment on the defense, and it's a free 5 for Sheyenne and a first down deep in their own end.
Yeah, first penalty for either football team, but when you got a team that's been running the football so well and going on one time and time again, surely Century was kind of getting lined up for that third down and a couple yards. Good call.
Handoff Henricks. Tries the left side, grabbed onto from behind, and smothered down. Out to the 29 goes Henricks. Maybe a couple yards there.
Number 77 on the tackle.
Schweigert again came around and grabbed him from behind.
Number 8,
has good job up front by the Patriots. I think Burkhardt really at the nose guard slot. He really took on a couple blockers and forced Henricks to try to bounce outside.
It's a confidence-building start here for the Sheyenne Mustangs. Is got an early touchdown, got some first downs brewing. Now they have it 2nd down and 8. Working team, handoff wide side. There goes Wilson. He's got a hole out to the 35, close to first down yardage, nearing the sticks. Goes Race Wilson. Sheyenne getting some yardage off tackle, up the middle. They've been doing a good job running the football here in the first quarter, have the Mustangs.
That yardage is good enough.
Patriots struggling with this different type of offense right now, Todd, and sometimes it just takes a couple series in order to get to understand what the motion, what everything that's happening.
Yeah, we haven't seen any wideouts, just been this double wing T formation, if you will. The tight ends are standing up. Handoff, Henricks, bowling ball over some defensive players for Cheyenne. That riles up the Cheyenne sideline. Muscle football there for Henricks, hit by Ben Mansmith along with Bosley.
And one thing, too, I like what Henricks does, Todd, is he really protects that football. He's got both hands over it, and the bowling ball's the right thing. Is he wasn't trying to avoid anybody, the Patriots, on that time. He lowered his head and went right at a Century Patriot.
Give Henricks 4, sets up 2nd down and 6 as the clock drips down to 1:25 to play in the first quarter. Cheyenne eating some clock. And now it's a wide side run. Here comes Connor Entz. Ooh, nice tackle in space there by Jacob Renz. No gain on the play.
Yeah, they had a blitz by William Hermanson as he went right by Connor Entz coming from the right to his left. That's been a successful run or play for the Cheyenne Mustangs, but good play at that time by the cornerback coming in, as you mentioned, going down low, which is what you got to do. Grabbed him along by the legs, by the ankles, and was able to pull him right down.
3rd and 5. Could be an important early 3rd down here for that Century defense. Working time, handoff straight ahead running, and there goes Henricks. Close to first down yardage as he bullies his way near the sticks, and they give him a first down. Schweigert from behind pulls him down.
They tried to blitz Renz on cornerback, but he came around behind him, couldn't pull him down. Schweigert made the tackle, but again, not before that line that pushed everybody else forward to a good pickup and another first down.
28 seconds and counting to play first quarter. Cheyenne with a couple first downs on this drive. Could be the last play of the first quarter with Cheyenne leading by 6. Motion by Wilson, they hand it off to him. Cuts it up, driving, bullying his way into Century territory. 4 more, maybe 5 more yards for the Mustangs, and that will indeed be the final play of our first quarter. A good first quarter for the Cheyenne Mustangs. A quarter break at the end of 1 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's West Fargo Cheyenne 6 and Century 0.
Or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Reminder after the game, we'll have our post-game show brought to you by the Planning Team Financial Advisors. Helping clients work towards financial freedom, the Planning Team Financial Advisors.
Well, if you could script a quarter,
yeah,
Mustangs like that one.
Yeah, you couldn't have scripted a better one if you're a Cheyenne Mustang fan. We'll see if Century on 2nd down and 6 can find a way to slow down these Mustangs, and now they go to the long count, and I think they drew the Patriots offside.
Yeah, they had, for the Patriots, Willie Hermanson, and that's one of the things that they do so much, the Mustangs, is they put somebody in motion. It's a quick motion, and it looks like you're actually the running the play, and you really got to keep your eye on the football.
For the Mustangs.
Cheyenne on 2nd down and 1 now. We'll just go straight ahead. Nope, Katina, is going to keep it, and he got close to 1st down yardage. Then he gets hemmed in.
Number 16,
they're going to call it 3rd down. Workentine is hit there by Jaden Braun. 3rd and short coming for Cheyenne.
Yeah, I think Braun came up and hit him just short of the 1st down, so surely is 4-down territory. 3rd and short, I'd imagine that even in the position that they are at that 43-yard line, it's going to be a 4-down territory for the Mustangs.
Yeah, for a team that only punts about once a game.
Yeah.
Cheyenne, this is certainly 4-down territory. Snap is back. They hand it off to the big Hendricks, and he's got a 1st down. Powers his way inside the 40. Take him down to the 39-yard line. And the Mustangs are galloping.
Well, he is an absolute load, and he's showing it right now as he is running through some tackles, and when they are tackling him, he's the one that's delivering that punch.
At the 39-yard line,
already 7 carries for 27 yards for Hendricks. Wilson's got 37 yards.
Well, the yardage and the time of possession mounting here for Cheyenne. They motion Wilson, they hand it off to him, tries to get to the edge, turns the corner, and he's got a 1st down before he's wrapped up near the 20. But a flag is down.
It's behind the play, and I'm not so sure it wasn't going to be a hold potentially on Hendricks. As Hendricks, they faked the handoff to him, and he met the defensive end right at the line of scrimmage, and it looked like he had his hands on the outside of the jersey of, it was either Braun or Walls.
Coach Newton out on the field near the numbers, voicing his displeasure over the holding call, but that will set Cheyenne back just 6 yards, so it was downfield, as you mentioned, Chuck. That holding call will set up 1st and 16 now for the Mustangs. Just underway here in the 2nd quarter. Cheyenne leading 6-0 on your BNC Bank scoreboard.
I'll never get how they work that. I don't like it's the point of attack. Give them the 10 yards.
Same play, they hand it off to Race Wilson. This time Century up to the task as Wilson nears the numbers, or on the numbers at the 40-yard line. And we'll give him 5.
Along with number 27.
Is he on our all-name crew, TD? Race is one of those names that one of my favorite shows growing up. Johnny Quest, Race Bannon. I love that name.
If you're a running back and your name is Race, that's usually a good thing.
Well,
right?
He's not. I mean, Josh Hendricks, if his name was Race, you might go, oh, wait a minute, that's not something ain't right there. His name should be like Boom.
Cheyenne quick hitter, and they get it out into the hands of Seth Newton. Xander Newton, I beg your pardon, and he is wrapped up immediately there by Bryn Chelfson. As Cheyenne there, Chuck, went 3 wides. And they complete a pass for just 5 yards. It sets up 3rd down and 6 now for the Mustangs.
It's those quick hitters, though. When you're running the ball so many times, that's what creates some of that the openings, because you got guys starting to kind of creep in to help out in the tackling.
3rd and 6 from the 35-yard line. Motion by Entz. They almost got Century to jump. Now a handoff straight ahead running, and there goes Hendricks. And he's close to the 30. Boy, he gets 3-4 yards before they get a hand on him, and Schweigert bullies him down. And it's going to be 4th down and short upcoming for West Fargo Cheyenne.
I mean, I can't say enough about what the guys up front are doing, Todd. Carpenter, Eagleson, Galdi, I mean, and then the 2 tackles in Hart and Selheim. I mean, they are really controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
Well, 4th and short. Caught a long one. Got to get to the 29-yard line, does West Fargo Cheyenne. They go into an I formation. And it's going to be an option play. Oh, boy. Hendricks. Oh, a flag comes in. Maybe got him up high. Might have been a face mask.
Face mask as for the Patriots coming in to make that play, Todd, was Klein Kamenka, and they're going to say he had a hold of his face mask. No wonder his head got ripped back so quickly. It ended up being short of the first down.
Yep. Be a 15-yarder, too.
Face mask penalty.
And I think he would have been short, but the penalty will give Cheyenne a first down.
The 3rd first down on penalties today already.
15-yard personal foul. Face masking penalty call.
Cheyenne has it now at the
1st and 10 on the
15-yard line. And Workentine hands it off, and Hendricks off left guard, maybe a couple yards there for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Man, he is an absolute load. He is so hard to bring down. Mansmith has tackled him a bunch of times. With Mansmith, who has a number of tackle for losses, now he's getting tackles, and they're at about 3 or 4 yards deep in the line of scrimmage.
Well, West Fargo Cheyenne, 2 possessions, 2 impressive drives if they've moved it to the Century 11-yard line. This time, misdirection. They start left, they come back right. It's an option play, and Workentine doesn't get much. Maybe gets to the 10, give him a gain of 1. And it's going to be Schweigert once again for Century.
The down the line option, and Workentine tried to jump the line of scrimmage, and when he did, Schweigert grabbed a hold of him and just pulled him right down.
Clock chewing drive again here as we just got 7:30 to play in the first half. Cheyenne has moved it to the Century 10-yard line. They got to get to a 5 for a first down. 3rd and 4 coming for the Mustangs. Snap is back, and there goes Hendricks bowling over tacklers as he gets it down to the 7, but he's going to be short by about a yard, maybe 2, as Seth Nelson was the Patriot there hanging on for dear life.
Does he get credit for a tackle when you just get ran over and when you get bust? He was on the bottom of the pile as he held him for a 2-yard gain, but...
Well, here we go. 4th and 2.
And hold your spot, because this is one of those things. We'll see if they put somebody in motion to see if they can't draw him off sides.
I backfield behind Workentine. And it's going to be a handoff to Hendricks, and he buries a defender, and he's inside the 5, and a first down for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Well, it's Nelson again who met him in the hole, but Nelson's just at 185, 60 pounds short of Josh Hendricks, and Hendricks just pushes forward and picks up the necessary yardage to pick up a first down.
6.5 minutes to play first half. Cheyenne on top 6-0, and they're knocking on the door. First and goal from the 3-yard line are the Mustangs.
17th play of the drive, Todd.
Newton split out wide to the left. They'll hand it off second man through. Race Wilson to the goal line and short. Just inside the 1. He's marked down there by the official, and it's Klein Kamenka for the hit.
Kamenka grabbed him, pulled him back right at the goal, and it almost looked like Wilson almost looked like he stopped, didn't it?
Well, Century, how many plays is this now? 18 plays?
That's 18 plays.
An 18-play drive for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Started at their own 14 after the interception.
Same formation. Workentine hands it off. Hendricks, and he's in. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Well, I would call that an impressive drive, Todd. You had, again, 1 completion in those 19 plays, so 18 runs and 1 5-yard completion that they mixed in about halfway through that drive. 86 yards. That started at the 4:23 of the first quarter. So almost took a whole quarter.
Cheyenne on top 12-0, and now they'll go for 2. Mustangs hand it off. Oh, working team keeps it, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. Well, the Sheyenne Mustangs have been impressive here in the first half, and they lead 14-0. We take a touchdown timeout. BNC National Bank scoreboard, 5:34 to play. First half on your BNC Bank scoreboard, it is West Fargo Sheyenne 14, Century nothing.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics. Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Isaac Birnbaum set for the ensuing kickoff for the Mustangs. Oh, it's almost a onside kick. It's going to be fielded by an up man for the Century Patriots. That's the quarterback, Brady Dahl.
Short kick by Birnbaum.
Well, again, good field position. What can you say about that? So 19 plays, Todd, 86 yards, 10 minutes, and 49 seconds.
That would be time possession, physical, bullying football by the Sheyenne Mustangs here in the first half.
It's just the third possession. The Patriots have ran 6 plays.
Yeah, Cheyenne's got almost 30 plays. There goes the quarterback, Brady Dahl, and nothing doing. He is wrapped up in the backfield.
Number 7, Brady Dahl. Stop made by number 55.
And Parsons on the hits. Now we got a Century Patriot down.
That's Renz.
Jacob Renz. I'm going to get an injury timeout here. I'm going to get a chance to tell you that after the game, we'll have our player of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. Sport Clips brings you the MVP of this matchup. They're located on South 3rd Street in Bismarck, and they're the home to the MVP haircut experience. Sport Clips brings you tonight's game MVP.
He's up, running off.
Injury timeout brought to you by Hubbard National Insurance. Call Hubbard National Insurance today for all your personal and business insurance needs.
Loss on the play.
Well, Century could use a first down just to kind of stem the tide here a bit. It's been all Mustangs here in the first half with 4:52 to play in that first half, and Sheyenne leading 14-0. Century splits out a couple receivers right, one to the left. Dahl out of the gun, rolling right, sets, fires it deep, and it is off the hands of Hinderer at the 30-yard line.
Pass incomplete, pass intended.
Near completion there, but there's Kellen Enns with pretty good coverage again for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Enns has done such a good job tonight. Every time the ball's been thrown, and that's the 4th time by Brady Dahl, Enns has been somewhere around the play.
Well, Century hasn't gotten much going running. They've tried the quarterback run, they've tried the Arndt run, and then Cheyenne's defense has been up to the task. Century will send out Trahan, Hinderer, and Renz back in right away. Trips to the right. Rolling right is Dahl. They set the edge. Now he's going to be sacked. Dropped down in the backfield by Carter Menz.
Well, they were deep patterns, Todd. 2 guys were deep, running flag and fly routes, and so the quarterback needed time, and he had no time whatsoever. It's Carter Menz, a 6'5", 180-pound junior left tackler, left defensive end, really. Ultimately, got right up field, got in the face of the quarterback Dahl as he was rolling out, and pulled him down for a big loss.
Osman back to punt for Century, and Jeremy Newton calls and asks for timeout. A Hubbard National Insurance timeout. Hubbard National Insurance located on Burnt Boat Drive in Northwest Bismarck. Century will be punting it away when we come back. BNC Bank scoreboard at Sheyenne 14, Century nothing.
answer. BSC offers hands-on training and a real college experience, making your future a reality. You don't have to travel far and wide for a really great education. Check us out at bismarckstate.edu.
Osmond back deep to punt for Century. Gustafson, Entz back deep to receive for West Fargo Cheyenne. Osmond puts a boot into it, a high end over end kick. And they're going to let it go over their heads, and it's a Century roll as it lands about the 30-yard line, bounces down to the 26, and that's where this West Fargo Cheyenne Mustang offense will start off 1st and 10. And it's been all Mustangs here in the first half. 14-0 on your BNC Bank scoreboard. 3:52 to play first half.
Yeah, it's the Patriots 2 3-and-outs.
In West Fargo.
And they got one first down.
And the Mandan Braves. Score is 13-7. West Fargo Packers as they lead with 11:20 remaining in the first half.
Cheyenne will bunch it up again. These tight ends will stand up, wing T formation, snap is back, and a flag flies. And handoff goes to Race Wilson. I think that's got to be a procedure penalty. You had a couple guys in motion at the same time that time for Cheyenne.
I think that's exactly right, Todd.
Illegal shift on the Mustangs. That will set them back 5.
The Mustangs. That is a 5-yard
Cheyenne's even been able to, usually a kind of a 3 yards in a cloud of dust in offense for this wing T, but they've been able to overcome a couple penalties here and still pick up necessary yardage for first downs when they've needed to.
Well, Century's got to kind of get a wake-up call right now. I think they've been just kind of punched right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Not kind of, right?
1st and 15. A little motion there by Wilson. Now the handoff goes to Henricks, and Henricks tries the right side. He gets near the 25, and then he's bottled up.
For the Mustangs, stop made by number 22, Peyton Arndt. Number 27, Seth Nelson.
It still feels like it still takes them 4 yards before they can pull him down.
Yeah.
3 guys stop him. He never did go down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like you look at Recess.
They look like they
the
bottled,
big guy.
Yeah, they look like they bottled him up there, and he still gets 4 yards. 2nd and 11, back to pass. Working team steps up in the pocket, looking, flings it. Ooh, and he cannot hit his intended receiver, Entz. Connor Entz had slipped out of the backfield into the pattern. Coverage there by Seth Nelson.
Good pressure on the outside by the Patriots. Walls and Braun forced the quarterback working team to step up in the pocket. He had a guy open. As you mentioned, Connor Entz, Todd, from the slot had gone upfield and was going across the field from the right to the left in front of working team. And ultimately the ball was just outside his hands. He catches that. There's nobody around him, and he was open.
3rd and long for the Mustangs. 3rd and 11 to be exact. Got to get to the 36 for a first down. Working team back to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Looking, fires it back near side, and it's into the Mustang bench. Looking for Holsing. Coverage by Brynjolfsson. That's going to be a stop for the Century defense. And the Patriots will be getting the football back here after a punting situation for Cheyenne.
He's still at all kinds of time, Todd, and that's one of the things is these guys up front, they're tired. I mean, a lot of the guys are going both ways. As a matter of fact, all 4 of these guys up front are going both ways. So he had time and finally got Braun finally got in the face of working team and forced him to throw it out of bounds.
Working team back to punt. Century comes after it. He gets it away. Brynjolfsson back with a fair catch. Called for and received successfully at the 43-yard line. Starting field position has not been the issue for the Patriots. They've had it in good position at the 35, the 40, the 45 area, but Century thus far has been able to do nothing with it as Cheyenne leads 14-0 with 2:39 to play here in the first half.
The 4th possession for the Patriots. They've started at the 36, the 38, the 46, and now the 44.
Yeah, so good field position as Brady Dahl's under center. Little mixed direction, and there goes Peyton Arndt trying to slip through tackles, and he doesn't get much.
Stop made by number 30.
Didn't get anything. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage, the 44-yard line, hit there by the nose tackle, Andy Cook.
And that's one of the things that Patriots have not got their running game going. That's really what was setting up that throwing, allowing Dahl to have some success the last few weeks. But right now they have got they have a net 6 yards rushing this half.
Century with one receiver to each side. Dahl's under center. Fake to Arndt, rolling out, throwing it into the slot and incomplete. Off the hands of Connor Trahan. Incomplete coverage there by Noah Olson, the corner for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Sophomore Olson was right there. They play that two deep zone with the two safeties, and then the cornerbacks Olson and Dudneff kind of play some underneath stuff. And boy, just good coverage by Noah Olson. Just a small window there. Maybe he could have caught it, Todd, but it would have been a really good catch.
Century with 12 on the play clock breaks the huddle. They're going to send trips to the right. Patriots looking for some offense here in the first half. Dahl is back to pass, rolling to his right, stops, fires it, and that's picked off. And that is picked off there by the Sheyenne Mustangs. It's Tanner Hagel stepping into that passing lane near midfield, and he runs it back to the 38-yard line, and that'll be 1st and 10 there for Sheyenne. 2 turnovers here in the first half for Century.
Threw it right to Hagel. I'm not even sure if there was a Patriot around there, Todd. As he rolled out, had some pressure in the face of the quarterback, Dahl, and Dahl threw it right to Tanner Hagel. Hagel was able to pick up about, maybe 7-8 yards, and there's still all kinds of time and a couple timeouts here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, 1:48 to play, and Sheyenne, they say Hagel stepped out at the 46-yard line.
So that's 2 interceptions for Dahl. 0 for 6 passing, Todd.
Mustangs will bunch it up again. They'll hand it off on a wide side run. There goes Race Wilson. Puts a foot down. Now the football comes out. Football came out.
No, they're going to say he wasn't down, Todd. Good job inside there by Bosley, ripping it out. And gang tackling.
Yeah. Jacob Renz with the fumble recovery. Bosley caused the fumble. Race Wilson coughs it up. Renz recovers it. And Century, West Fargo turns it over. Century gets it right back off of the Sheyenne turnover.
Almost could have been down, Todd, as it looked like he had stopped his forward progress. But if you're a Patriot fan, you're glad the officials, the whistle didn't blow.
1:40 to play, first half. Century, 1st and 10. Straight ahead run. There goes Peyton Arndt. Slips through one tackle, falls ahead to the 45-yard line, tangled up there by Jacob Kirkaby.
And if you're Coach Wingenbach, part of me says, man, I don't think he might be afraid to put the ball in the air right now. Your quarterback has not looked good throwing the football. You've had pressure with him rolling out. You've had pressure with him staying in the pocket.
2nd down and 6. Another handoff goes to Peyton Arndt. Tried to get to the edge, but he couldn't. Hit there by the leading tackler for Sheyenne, and that's Matt Tribe. And Peyton Arndt is now down. As Century's leading rusher, Peyton Arndt, the junior, down as he got strung down from behind there by the Sheyenne Mustangs, and we get an injury timeout. Reminder after the game, we'll have our move of the game brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you move across town or across the country. Locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. Find them online at jobberswarehouse.com. Stay tuned at halftime. We'll run through the scoring plays in the first half. We'll give you the individual and team stats. Get you caught up on our BNC National Bank scoreboard, as BNC has financial solutions for your life and business. Customer-focused, community-driven, the bank for business people.
It's good to see Arndt getting up and walking off in her zone power, Todd. A little bit of a limp, but...
Yeah, hopefully that's just a cramp. Is Century facing now a 3rd down and 4.
I'd like to see some short, quick passes right now. Get the quarterback, even if you don't end up, scoring. I'd like to see him get some positives happening here before the end of the first half.
Trips to the right, one receiver to the left, and it's a no, not a handoff. It's a keeper for Dahl, and he's swallowed up. Theron Parsons with the TFL.
I don't know if that's a read, where you fake that handoff, or you try to read the defensive tackle. And if it was a read, well, it was a wrong read. You should have handed it off. And I don't even know if Bosley would have picked up any yardage. But as it was, Parsons was right there. Parsons was right there to grab the quarterback and pull him down for another tackle for loss. This time a loss of 4.
I was wondering if Jeremy Newton would call timeout there with under 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Instead, they let it go as Osman sends a spiraling punt. Fielded by Gustafson at the 15. Wide side run to the 20. And he cannot get to the edge as he's strung out and belted down at the 27-yard line with 4 seconds to play in the first half. Cheyenne just going to put her knee into this one and come to halftime leading by 14. Number 2 Cheyenne with an impressive first half over number 1 Century. Cheyenne has dominated the action in a lot of ways here in the first 24 minutes of play.
Like every way, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure the Patriots, other than leading in punt average and most penalties, that they've done anything really than the positive side. So you're going to have to kind of start and say, all right, we're going to wipe away that first half, try to figure out what we've done productive.
Working team takes steps back, takes a knee, and that'll send us to halftime. At halftime, on your BNC National Bank scoreboard from Mustang Field, Essentia Health Mustang Field in West Fargo, it's been all Cheyenne here in the first half as the Mustangs lead it 14-0 over the Century Patriots. Stay tuned. Our halftime activities come up next on the PSP Network.
Or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
BNC has been here for over 25 years.
We're still a community bank that's there for you.
When you come in with your business plan, your vision, your idea, we can make it a reality.
I love seeing projects come alive for our clients.
We're real people helping real people.
We know you, and we're always happy to see you.
We build relationships.
You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
Yours truly, BNC.
This live digital radio broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at psp.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Memories never fade, especially from a high school.
Todd Darmish, Chuck Claremont, back at Essentia Field in West Fargo. The campus of West Fargo Cheyenne High School is all Mustangs in that first half. 14-0 Cheyenne leads over number 1 Century. Welcome you to our halftime activities. Reminder, our upcoming action on the PSP schedule looks like this. Football action next Wednesday. Watford City will be at St. Mary's. Next Friday night, Minot at Century. Check that Thursday night, October 21st, Minot at Century, Legacy at Mandan in a doubleheader. And then next Saturday on October 23rd, we'll have playoff football action. Be sure to stay tuned to PSP Network, as you can get that upcoming PSP schedule for our upcoming playoff action, as we'll be updating you in just a moment on our BNC National Bank halftime scoreboard. Other games we're tracking tonight includes Bismarck High at Legacy, Mandan at West Fargo, Jamestown at Minot, and then a couple of EDC games we're also tracking, or the East Region games if you want to call them that. Fargo Davies is at Fargo North. Red River is at Shanley, and that rounds out the slate right there. Is you have a couple cross matchups, East-West, Mandan at West Fargo, and of course Century here at West Fargo Cheyenne. So Chuck, let's just break down before we get to the numbers. What a confidence boost on the opening drive for Cheyenne. That just kind of set the tone for the whole first half for the Mustangs, I thought.
Yeah, I think a lot of people felt that with the size that the Patriots had, that they were going to maybe out-physical them. They were only giving up 56 yards rushing the entire season, and hey, your strength against our strength, we'll take our strength against you. And man, I was so impressed with how hard Hendricks was to bring down, how hard he ran, the ability of running that Race Wilson had, and just the blocking up front, where really when you talk about the Patriots up front versus the Mustangs starting 5 and then throw in Holsling and Newton. I mean, they dominated the line of scrimmage, the Mustangs did, and absolutely a confidence boost, TD. The first drive alone, then you come back and you get an interception, you stop the Patriots, and you go 86 yards and just a stupid almost a full quarter of 19 runs. I mean, just that very, very, very impressive, and the coaches have to be just stunned. And the players.
Yeah, and
the media people.
In Century's 29-game winning streak, they haven't been dominated at the line of scrimmage very often. I can tell you that. Is the Patriots real good up front, and Cheyenne certainly showed everyone something that they got some muscle, and they got some things that they're doing very well up front. As when we come back, we'll dig into the numbers, individual and team stats, along with a BNC Bank scoreboard update. At halftime, on your BNC National Bank scoreboard, it's Cheyenne 14, Century 0. More to come on our halftime after this break on the PSP Network.
Especially from a high school rivalry game. Hi, I'm Brock Shook with First Western Bank and Trust. Throughout school sports history, the familiar names and faces may change, but legacies live on, achievements remembered. As your community bank, First Western Bank and Trust celebrates your victories with you. We want to wish all the local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this season. Be safe on the court, field, rink, and in the gym. First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Got big plans? No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options, and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan,
Cheyenne on top 14-0 at halftime from West Fargo tonight. As the numbers sometimes, Chuck, don't tell a story, but tonight the numbers are going to tell a story, and it was complete domination by West Fargo Cheyenne in the first half. Here's your individual and team stats.
Impressive numbers, to say the least. Let's do the Patriots first, as Peyton Arndt led them rushing 7 carries for 20 yards. Brady Dahl, the quarterback, 3 carries for minus 15. He had a 10-yard sack included in that. Jacob Renz had a 1-fly sweep for 5 yards. Brady Dahl, well, the 15 yards in negative rushing, if those weren't bad enough for him, he was 0 for 6 throwing, had 2 interceptions in that first half, and that's it for the individual statistics for the Patriots. For the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs, Josh Hendricks, 13 carries, 47 yards. He had a 1-yard touchdown run after that 19-play drive. Grant Workentine had 2 carries for 1 yard. Connor Enns had a touchdown in his 3 carries, had 11 total yards in that first half, a 4-yard touchdown run as part of those 3 carries. Race Wilson, a nice first half for him as he led the Mustangs in rushing, 10 carries, 48 yards for him. Workentine completed his first 2 passes, had 2 incompletes after that, finished 2 of 4 for 15 yards. Both of those passes were thrown to his favorite target in Xander Newton. Here's where it gets ugly. The Patriots in the first half, 11 rushes for 10 yards compared to 28 rushes for the Mustangs for 117 yards. So no completions, obviously no passing yards for the Patriots. The Mustangs had 15 passing yards. So 17 plays, 10 yards for the Patriots in the first half compared to 32 plays for 132 yards for the Mustangs. That is domination. The Patriots didn't lose any fumbles. The Mustangs did put the ball on the carpet. That was Wilson fumbled that one. Punting, 3 punts for the Patriots, averaging 35 yards a kick, 31 yards, the 1 kick for Workentine, 3 penalties for 25 yards for Century in that first half, just 1 for 5 for the Mustangs. 1 first down for Century compared to 10 for the Mustangs. There was a 1 sack as for the Mustangs. Nick Renner had a sack, or excuse me, Carter Menz had a sack in the first half, and then 2 interceptions, 1 by Tanner Hagel and 1 by Kellen Enns, and then there was a number of tackle for losses, 2 by Theron Parson, and then also 1 tackle for loss by Nick Renner. So, man, 132 to 10 in terms of yardage differential. Hello, easy for me to say. 32 plays. They can recover because now they're going to be on defense
yep.
to start the second half too.
Yeah, 132 to 10 in terms of yardage in the first half. The other thing, just the number of plays. I mean, Sheyenne just dominating the action here. 32 plays to Century's 17 in the first half, so almost doubling up plays and well ahead of that in yardage. As impressive first half for the Sheyenne Mustangs. Here's an updated look at the BNC National Bank scoreboard update as in Bismarck tonight. Legacy in the third quarter leads Bismarck High School 24-22. Last report had West Fargo leading Mandan 13-7. Halftime score from Minot has Jamestown, the Blue Jays on top of the Minot Magicians 7-0. And West Fargo, check that, Fargo Shanley blanking Red River 28-0. And the other game in 11 AA football we're tracking is Fargo Davies at North National Bank scoreboard update at halftime. Come back, nearing the second half of action as we'll take a timeout, and second half comes up next on the PSP Network. BNC Bank scoreboard at halftime. It's Sheyenne 14, Century nothing.
Session. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics. Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Todd Darmish, Chuck Claremont back at Mustang Field, Essentia Health Mustang Field in West Fargo as we're getting set for the second half of action. Chuck, let's talk about some halftime adjustments here as you got to get something going offensively if you're the Patriots. 11 yards of total offense in that first half, and maybe an easy completion for your quarterback just to get some mojo going, and then, hey, you got to find a way to slow down that Mustang running game.
Yeah, and that's one thing the Patriots have done well all season, right, is they've been able to stop the rush, only giving up 56 yards of rush, and so they have the horses to do it. I think ultimately the scheme that's just been very effective for the Mustangs, and I think it's one of those things that maybe a little bit overconfidence, Todd, potentially, for the Patriots, and maybe it's one of those things that they got some good senior leaders and got to come out and make some adjustments, and it's got to be, somebody's got to step up and stop Hendricks, because when he's getting the football right now, he is getting, 5-6 yards every time he gets it, and it's putting the Mustangs in great situations for second and short. And, so ultimately you got to stop somebody there. And I just feel offensively they have not had any successful plays really to speak of in that first half. And where do you go from here? You can't run the football and you haven't thrown it. So is it going to be some short passes? I would say that's probably something that you get your quarterback some confidence, because he does not have any confidence after that first half. And it's going to take everything for the coaches to kind of say, hey, Brady, you know what? You've had a successful season thus far. We got confidence in you. You're a senior leader. You've led us to 7 victories. And it's not just on you.
Yep.
And get him outside, because he can run the football. He just has not showed it thus far. He's been a little bit indecisive in terms of running the football.
West Fargo Cheyenne, Chuck, they hang their hat on time of possession, wearing you down, pounding the football. And I'd say check mark there in the first half.
Well, two drives alone. One was 11 plays, took up 4 minutes and 40 seconds. One was 19 plays and took up 10:49. So you're looking at 15 and a half minutes in 30 plays in 2 drives. So, time of possession is big.
Central will be kicking off to start our second half. Flu shot now at the Medicine Shop in Bismarck. Thanks also to Chuppy Clinic in Bismarck. They offer more than just basic adjustments of the spine. Meet them and they'll handle the greater demands of your current health needs. 14-0 just starting the third quarter of play.
The Cheyenne Mustangs will take over for their first.
Cheyenne gets their play call from the head coach Jeremy Newton right at the 25-yard line, and they break their huddle in their home blues, white numerals outlined in orange, Century in those road whites, blue pants, red helmets, working team in the pistol and a handoff. And there goes Race Wilson, and he gets 4 yards out to the 24-yard line. He's hit there by Jacob Renz.
And one thing, they're just doing a good job kind of walling off that right side as Wilson comes from that left slot, comes around the right, and he turns up a field and really is able to pick and weave his way for nice yardage on first down.
Second down and 6. Working team, handoff this time, Hendricks, and Hendricks this time is stacked up. Nowhere to go. As that time Century got some push on that left side of that defensive line. It's Jacob Burkhardt really blowing up that play.
And that's the part that they haven't had, that, Todd, is Hendricks has basically gotten to 2-3 yards before he's gotten hit, or he's got one-on-one against a smaller linebacker. And so in this case, they had a push. He ran right into the back of one of his own offensive linemen. A big play there for Burkhardt.
Well, and now we'll see if Century can get an early momentum shift here in the second half, get a 3 and out, get the football back. Working team out of the gun. Snap, handoff. There goes Race Wilson. He's bottled up, and he's got nowhere to go. Got to the 25, gain of a yard on 3rd and 5, and Sheyenne will be punting the football away as it's Connor Trahan forcing the issue from his free safety position.
And nice job by Walls. I think he was at left end as he had pushed upfield, made Race Wilson turn back inside, and when he did, right there was Trahan and Brjolfsson to help bring him down.
Working team standing back at his 12-yard line. Punt is away. Pretty good kick this time. Fair catch fielded successfully by Ryan Brjolfsson, and Century gets a 3 and out. and the Patriots will take over at their 45-yard line. So an early stop, and let's see, that's one checkbox for the Patriots. Can they get some offense going now here in the third quarter with 10:06 to play in the third quarter? Century down by 14.
30-yard kick for 30-yard kick for Workentine. No return.
Century sends Trahan to the left. Renz to the right. Dahl under center. Handoff goes to Peyton Arndt, and he's got a seam, and he's out near midfield. And he's close to the midfield stripe. He's knocked down at the 49.5. Tackled by Matt Tribe.
Andy Cook.
That Tribe was right there. It's good push, though. You like that. So far, you like the first few plays. Is good hard running by Arndt right up the middle. So it's nice to see that he's feeling okay.
I checked that, Chuck. That was not Arndt. It was Trevor Reagan.
Okay.
Reagan gets the call again, tries the right side, and this time he's pushed backwards. Bunch of blue jerseys there to hit him in his tracks. No gain on the play.
I think it was last week, too, where Arndt played the first half, got hurt, didn't come back against the Demons in the second half. And so they got some good guys coming off the bench, if you want to call it that, in Pajamula and Trevor Reagan. They run hard.
And 5 for the Patriots.
Century facing a 3rd and 5 now from midfield. Got to get to the Cheyenne 45 for a first down. Trahan, Renz split out wide to the left. Hinderer, the receiver to the right, tight end to the right, back to pass. Dahl slings it into the slot, and it's too wide for his intended receiver. Trayton Hinderer, he had him.
Brady Dahl's pass incomplete.
He rushed it as Hinderer was, they're saying it maybe was tipped at the line of scrimmage. But that's that quick route. Hinderer was across the first down marker at the 45-yard line, and it got tipped enough to have the ball thrown behind him.
Century on 4th and 5 from midfield will punt it away. Paul Osman, pretty high snap. Kick is away. Driving kick, fielded by Gustafson at the 15. Makes the first man miss up the near sideline, 25-30. And he's pushed out of bounds after a good return. Got all the way out to the 45-yard line. Gustafson made that first wave miss, and then he was accelerating up the near sideline, and Cheyenne has it at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, big return, 36-yard kick, Todd, but it was a little kind of a low liner into that wind, if there is any, and a great return as it went from the 14 all the way out to the 45-yard line, so 31-yard return.
Tate Gustafson stakes Cheyenne with pretty good field position. 1st and 10, slight wind at their back for the Mustangs. From their own 45, motion by Race Wilson, they hand it off to him, and he slips off a one tackle, then he's bottled up at the 48. Give him 3, hit there by the defensive end, Jackson Walls.
Number 77, Lucas Schweigert.
So the Patriots defensively did what they were supposed to do that first possession, but offensively, another 3 and out for the Pats. And great field position here for the Mustangs.
Tonight's game brought to you by Tires Plus. Shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. Visit them online at TiresPlusND.com. Straight ahead handoff. There goes Hendricks, and he's wrapped up. Schweigert grabs him and bullies him backwards.
Schweigert's, I mean, it isn't like he wasn't stepping up in the first half, but I think they're going to have to start making some plays where he's going to get through, or they're going to start hitting him in the backfield.
3rd and 6.
As right at the line of scrimmage, and Schweigert showed his strength as he grabbed him, stopped him in his tracks, and pulled him backwards.
That's 2:45. Schweigert up to the task that time. 3rd and 6 for Cheyenne. They bunch it up to the right side. Workentine out of the gun. Rolling right, looking to pass. Got a man on the slot, throws it to the second level. Hendricks has it. First down. Slipped out of the backfield, the fullback Hendricks. Good hands there at the 40-yard line. That's a nice gain of 11 on 3rd and 6.
Hendricks, only 2 catches coming into this game, Todd. They faked the handoff to him. He went through the line of scrimmage, then busted outside after he got past that first down, and a great throw by the quarterback, Workentine. And you said a catch was up high, his fingertips, he pulled it in, he was able to keep his feet in bounds.
Cheyenne up 14-0 on your BNC Bank scoreboard, 7:20 to play third quarter. Mustangs on the move. They'll hand it off again to Hendricks, and Hendricks carries a couple tacklers for about 2 yards. Inside the 40, Schweigert brings him down again from behind at the 38-yard line.
Schweigert's everywhere, and they're going to need him to continue that, but just good, hard running. I want to go back to that last play, and it just shows to me Working team, the quarterback, maybe we talked about not having necessarily the confidence and the success in these first 7 games.
No gain on the play. Seth Nelson, nice fill there from the linebacker position for Century.
Back to that left side, Connor Enns, the slot back. And that's a play, Seth Nelson. He's got 31 tackles in the season, and he sniffed it out, went right down low again, didn't tackle him up by his shoulders, pulled him down.
Century, their defense has been up to the task here in the second half, as the Mustangs got a first down a moment ago on a 3rd and long conversion on the pass, and now they have it 3rd and 9 again from the Century 38-yard line. They'll spread it out. Twins to the right, one receiver to the left. Back to pass, and rolling right is Working Team. Flings it into the slot, too wide for his intended receiver, looking for Entz. Too tall for him. Coverage by Connor Trahan, step for step. And it looks like Sheyenne will be punting it away.
Working Team had a little bit of time, too. Tried to throw it over the top of that first level. The linebacker who was playing underneath coverage and just threw it a little bit too high. Entz could not run underneath it.
Working Team back to punt, standing near midfield. Brynjolfsson back near his 10-yard line is deep to receive for Century with 5:51 to play in the third quarter. Sheyenne on top 14-0. Good snap is back. Punt is away for Working Team. A wobbler for the far sideline. It's going to go out of bounds. And we're at the 10-yard line, and that's where Century will take over, and that's the worst field position of the night for the Century Patriots by far.
23-yard kick, but ultimately he wasn't going to kick it to Brynjolfsson. He just kicked it out of bounds, didn't give him any opportunities, so a 23-yard kick, no return.
At halftime, Fargo South leads Devils Lake Bruins over the Firebirds, 28-7 at halftime.
Century deep in their own end. Dahl under center, a couple receivers left, and I backfield as Reagan dots the I. Handoff, Trigger Reagan, and he's wrapped up. Got to the line of scrimmage. Spilled there by Nick Renner.
These linebackers have been everywhere, TD. I mean, they've been all over the field. As Tribe, Hagel, Renner, you've heard us call their names time and time again. There's just been no running room whatsoever for the Patriots.
Yeah, Century's tried to run it left, they try to run it right, they try to run it up the middle, and really nothing has been that successful on the Patriot running game here in the first 2 quarters and change. 2nd and 10, Dahl out of the gun. Rolling right, it's a design run. There goes Brady Dahl. Into the second level goes Dahl. That's his best run of the night. Belted down at the 21-yard line, but that's a 6-yard gain. He's tripped up there by Tanner Hagel, a backer for Sheyenne.
I was just going to say the success the Patriots have had time and time again this year is basically just doing a load option, taking the fullback Bosley, bringing him in front, blocking for the quarterback, and have the quarterback turn and run behind him. And Dahl, he has not had too many of those runs. As a matter of fact, he's had 0 of them tonight.
Century looking for a first down. 3rd down and 4 from the 21-yard line. They got to get to the 25. Snap is back. Dahl out of the gun, standing in the pocket. Flushed out, and he can't get away. Dropped. Sacked in the backfield. There's Parson again.
They just can't block Parson. He's so quick at 225. He's not big, Todd, by any stretch of the imagination, at just 2 1/4. Not small, but he's so quick. That's exactly how his father played. I mean, just good, quick, unbelievable side to side, and was able to get in the backfield and pull down Dahl.
Osmond standing in his own end zone. Punt is away. Back deep to receive is Gustafson. Fields it at the 44. Tries a wide side return. Gets through one tackle, but he cannot get away from Bosley. Nice play in space there by Jacob Bosley. Limits that to about a 5-yard return for Tate Gustafson, and that's where Sheyenne will take over. Scoreless third quarter here. Sheyenne led 14-0 at halftime with 3:45 to play in a fast-moving football game. This thing has been just run that clock, and that's Cheyenne's MO.
Boy, 3 tackle for losses and 2 sacks for Sheyenne tonight. Just dominating the line of scrimmage.
Sheyenne in the double wing formation once again. They motion and hand it off to the man in motion. That is Race Wilson. This time he puts a foot in the ground, turns it north and south. And he's into Century territory. The nice gain of 6 yards on first down.
6 yards. Stop made by number.
And the Patriots just absolutely stacking the line of scrimmage, saying, we dare you to run, and just better blocking by the guys up front. And it's worthy of saying their names again, Todd. Hart, Carpenter, Eagleson, Galdi, Selheim, and then, you know what? Holsing and Newton, yeah, they call them split ends. I don't know what they're split out. They're basically stand-up tight ends.
Yeah, they're stand-up tight ends that are blocking every play just about.
Yep.
2nd and 4, misdirection. There goes Entz, and a flag comes flying in as Entz got knocked down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as he's stacked up at the 45-yard line. We'll sort out the flag.
It's actually a loss of probably a half yard in the play. They're going to call, what, a hold? Might as well send that one back.
Maybe a block in the
10-yard
back.
penalty from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, maybe a hold. I didn't see the official signal, but it's going to set Cheyenne back 10.
Down. Yep. Make it second.
Well, the Century defense has stiffened up here in the second half. Most definitely, they got a couple stops and have negated these long, time-consuming drives for Cheyenne, but the Patriot offense yet to get on track. And now the Cheyenne Mustangs facing a 2nd down and 16 from their own 43-yard line. Twins right, 1 receiver left. Working team out of the gun. Back to pass. Got time into the slot. Contested pass. Broken up by Brynjolfsson. Intended there for Newton. And that's good coverage by the junior Ryan Brynjolfsson.
The one thing that he's so good at, Todd, both him and Renz at closing on the ball. Rollout pass, that's pretty much what they've been doing consistently. Working team rolled out to his right. A small window, tried to throw it to the outside. It would have been a good catch, but just better defense by Brynjolfsson.
3rd and 16. This is where Century has an advantage with 2:31 to play, 3rd quarter. Passing situation again, working team back to pass. Looks like a screen, and they drop it off to Henricks. Oh boy, he's got space, gets a block, got some room, closing in on the sticks, but he's going to be short. Good call there, a little dump off pass to Henricks, and he had some room before Bosley cut him down about 3 yards short of a first down.
Great call by Newton as they called a screen. Ultimately, the Patriots have been bringing people. They'd bring in linebackers. They brought a linebacker on that play as well and caught the Patriots, but good recovery by Bosley coming from behind to pull him down short of the first down.
Man, are you going to go for it here on 4th and 3 or just try to draw him off sides? Henricks is still in the game at the fullback, and they'll fake and they'll option it, and they run by Workentine, and I don't know. I think he's going to be short.
I think so, Todd.
Workentine, yep.
As he was pulled down by Schweigert, had a hold of him, then kept coming in from the backside. It could have been Nelson to push him down. So I guess I don't like that call, but then again, your defense is playing very well. Exactly. Why not kick it? Why not let him make him go 90 yards?
Yeah. Well, Century stiffens. That Patriot defense gets a stop. And now Patriots looking for a big play to get that offense some confidence here as 1st and 10 Century from their own 42-yard line after the stop on 4th down by that Century defense with 1:41 to play, 3rd quarter. Twins right, 1 receiver left. Dahl, handoff. There goes Bosley, and he's wrapped up.
Number 3.
Century not getting much push against that quick defensive unit as it's going to be Theron Parson again. What a game for that young man.
Yeah, he's just so hard to block, and Tribe was also there. Just that handoff, Bosley's first touch of the football game tonight. And
2nd down and 10, no gain on the play. Century.
I like that load option with the quarterback.
Got Peyton Arndt back in the backfield again. That's a good sign. Twins left, 1 receiver right. Century from the left hash mark. They'll motion Renz. Fake it to him on a jet sweep, and there goes Dahl right up the gut. Maybe gets a couple yards out to the 45-yard line. Give him 3. Get there by the nose, Andy Cook.
Yeah, and Andy Cook, undersized nose guard at 190, but they're tough to block because they're so good lateral movement inside. Parsons and Andy Cook and Menz, I mean, they're showing, hey, you don't have to be 260 pounds to be successful against the big line of the Patriots.
30 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Century trying to muster some offense. 3rd down and 7. Adam Schmidt wide to the left, Twins to the right. Back is Dahl. Under pressure, into the slot, gets it out to Peyton Arndt, and he's got no room. Good play in space by Cheyenne, and there's your leading tackler, Mac Tribe, on the hit for a loss on the play.
And Tribe read that all the way as he was the guy going, okay, I've got Peyton Arndt, as they tried to get it to him outside and said, hey, you're an athlete, make a play. And another athlete made a great play as Tribe came up, went down low, did not allow him to get out of his hands.
Fast-moving 3rd quarter comes to an end. A quarter break at the end of 3 from West Fargo tonight. On your BNC Bank scoreboard, it's Cheyenne 14, Century 0.
We're still a community bank that's there for you.
When you come in with your business plan, your vision, your idea, we can make it a reality.
I love seeing projects come alive for our clients.
We're real people helping real people.
We know you, and we're always happy to see you.
We build relationships. You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
At the tennis state championship tournament, Ethan Braun was the 3rd place individual finisher. And congratulations to the Mustang boys soccer team for their 3rd place finish and boys soccer this past weekend.
Osmond back into a punting situation, and the Patriots will boot it away. With the wind, Osmond bounces it at the 20. 1 hop, 2 hops, 3 hops, and it goes inside the 10-yard line, and that's what will be down by the Patriots. Nice effort there by the punter. Paul Osmond will pin Cheyenne deep way back at their 10-yard line.
6th punt already for Osmond tonight.
On their own 10-yard line.
That was a 46-yard punt, no return, but the Patriots again were stopped. They just cannot get anything going in terms of offense. They have not got any more than 1 first down today. 3 3-and-outs this second half.
Friday, the 22nd.
West Fargo Cheyenne breaks their near side huddle, and they'll bunch it up again. Working team out of the pistol, and he'll hand it off to Hendricks, tries a right side run, and that Century defense has found a way to hem in this Mustang running game as Jacob Burkhardt that time pinning down Josh Hendricks.
Well, the defense is adjusted appropriately. The offense just can't respond.
Well, let's see if maybe Patriots can flip the field position here by stopping them deep in their own end. They'll have the slight wind at their back here in the 4th quarter as it's pretty much dropped down to hardly a breath of wind, but what there is, it will be at the back of the Century Patriots. 2nd and long for West Fargo Cheyenne. They'll option it near side, and coming in and breaking a tackle was Race Wilson. He spun off a 1 tackle, then he's mopped up there by Jackson Walls after about a gain of 3.
Well, they had ran that option play on 4th down, Todd, and the pitchback was open when they got stopped on down, so they ran the same play again. This time he pitched it, but good recovery from behind by Jackson Walls, who feathered when he was playing that right defensive end spot.
1 minute into the 4th quarter, Cheyenne facing a 3rd down and 5. This would be a big time to get a stop here for that Patriot defense. Cheyenne will load it up. Double wing formation. Working team out of the gun. They'll motion Race Wilson. He's got a hole, and he's got a first down. Drives it ahead outside the 20-yard line. Mark him down at the 22-yard line. He needed 5, and he got 7. Did Race Wilson.
Just a good block on that outside as they walled off the left defensive end, and a good cutback by Wilson, a cutback against the grain. There was nobody coming back in the wash.
Yeah,
it's been that, they kind of run that student body left, student body right. You get a lot of guys blocking in there.
And you flow sometimes too much, and that's what happened there for the Patriots.
1st and 10 Cheyenne. There goes the bruising bulldozer, Race Hendricks. Connor Trahan met him up high, and that's not where you want to get Josh Hendricks. That's a bulldozing run of 13 yards for Hendricks.
Hendricks, there was a huge hole in that right side. Trahan came up from his free safety spot and hit him at the chest and got pushed backwards. So a big play of 13 yards and back-to-back first downs, 18 carries, 65 yards now for Hendricks, who's got, 500 yard of the 7 or 6 games today or this year.
Cheyenne started this drive at their 10-yard line. They marched it out to their own 35-yard line. Motion again. They'll hand off this time to Entz. And Entz off the left side. They get about to the numbers or the hash mark, and they turn it up, and they get good yardage. Mustangs again get 6 on first down.
And good patience, Todd. I think that's what, if you look at these running backs, they're quick to hit the hole, but they kind of wait and let their blockers block, let Hendricks kind of take out some guys, and then they make some decisions cutting back against the grain. And I'm impressed with both Rar and Ans and Race Wilson.
Joel Edlin got the tackle there for Century. 2nd down and 4. And this time the Mustangs motion Race Wilson, and I think Century jumped.
It's almost like that's not fair, as you can turn and run backwards so quick, and then you stop.
Yeah. And then they get a hard count too, as you get Workentine yelling and saying "hut," and then they see that guy moving, and that's a tough play.
And the yardage.
Another first down via penalty, the 4th first down via penalties for the Mustangs.
Under 9 minutes to play here in the football game. 14-0 on your BNC Bank scoreboard. Good to have the Medicine Shop bringing you tonight's game for free delivery, and you can get your flu shot at the Medicine Shop. Handoff goes to Henricks. Henricks with a head of steam, tried the right side. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Patriots to bring him down as he gets a gain of 3 on first down. Hit first by Ryan Brynjolfsson.
And what does that tell you? Right now we're seeing a lot of the cornerbacks in Brynjolfsson and Renz now coming up on the line of scrimmage. That's telling you've got 9 guys up in the line of scrimmage when both your cornerbacks are right there. I don't know if that means that you're going to go a play action pass at some point. Probably isn't. I don't know if that's got it. You would think it's in the play calling for West Fargo Cheyenne, but maybe that's not a risk they want to take.
Yeah, they're just milking some clock here. They're in and out of the huddle, just letting that play clock drip down. 2nd and 8. Handoff Hendricks right up the gut, and Schweigert got him low, and there's a couple guys there to mop him up. Now, what do you got? Century calling a timeout? Yes, indeed. Ron Wingenbach wants timeout. A Hub International insurance timeout. Contact your local Hub agents, Leif Olson and Josh Cattell, for your personal insurance needs. 7:42 to play in the football game on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's Cheyenne 14, Century 0.
The North Dakota Safety Council is dedicated to preventing injuries and saving lives by offering hundreds of safety courses. The NDSC helps workers return home safely every night and make sure schools are ready for any emergency. Our first aid training and defensive driving courses help save lives. We empower people through personal protection courses and operational risk assessments for businesses. We're a private, nonprofit organization committed to making North Dakota's homes, schools, communities, workplaces, and roads the safest in the nation. Learn more at ndsc.org.
Updated scoring from the capital city. Legacy leading Bismarck High 38-22. Here it's a 3rd down and 7 for Cheyenne. Handoff goes to Entz, and he didn't get a yard, maybe 2.
On the carry, gain of about a yard.
And it'll be a punting situation, as it was Joel Edlin there to bottle up Entz.
Here they come.
And it'll be a punting situation for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for it. No way. I mean, this wouldn't make any sense whatsoever.
He did it a moment ago in plus territory at the 44, but now near midfield, you're going to punt it away as Workentine standing back at his 37-yard line. Century comes after him. High punt, wobbling. Brynjolfsson's going to let that bounce, and it's a Mustang roll. Bounced at the 25, rolls all the way inside the 15.
get up and call a fair catch on that one.
And there was somebody down there quickly for Cheyenne, so I think Brynjolfsson was kind of like, oh, do I have to run around this guy to go catch that one? But it probably resulted in about 20 yards of field position.
Totally, because the ball was about the 30-yard line potentially on just a very short 20-yard kick, but instead it rolled all the way down to the 12-yard line, so it ends up being a 38-yard kick and no return.
Well, can the Patriots muster some offense? That has been the question most of the night. Chuppy Clinic brings you tonight's game. They offer more than just basic adjustments of the spine. Find them online at chuppy.com. There goes Peyton Arndt's handoff right side, and he is lifted and dropped and sent backwards. Nick Renner, first guy there to stick him.
Just right now what's happening is the Patriots cannot get to that second level. It's taken two guys to block Kirkaby or Parson or Cook or Menz, and they're just letting these guys run free, whether it's Renner, whether it's Tribe, whether it's Hagel.
Second down and 10 for the Patriots as the clock drips down here to 6:30 and counting to play in the fourth quarter. Twins to the wide side, one receiver to the short side, the right side. Dahl rolling left. Blitz is on from behind. Dahl's just going to keep it, and he's going to run. And the best run of the night for the Patriots. And there goes Brady Dahl to the second level, past the 30, out past the 35-yard line. Biggest offensive play of the night as Carter Menz tracks him down from behind. He was tracing him for about 30 yards. Was Carter Menz, but it's a big gain for Dahl and an offensive life here in the fourth quarter for Century.
Yeah, 23-yard pickup, and sometimes it takes a broken play like that, Todd, to get some life in the offense. Now they're getting a little up-tempo.
Century quickly out of the huddle. It's going to be a direct snap to Dahl and a run for the QB Dahl, and he gets a couple yards out to the 39. Give him 4 as the clock is under 4. Check that. 6 minutes to play with 5:50 and counting to play after a 5-yard gain for Brady Dahl.
Renner brought him down, but again, a good job by the quarterback just pushing forward. It's probably going to see more and more of that. It seems like that's the success.
Century sends Brynjolfsson wide to the right, along with Trayton Hinderer. One receiver to the left. Dahl out of the gun. They'll motion Arndt, and they'll hand it off to him on a jet sweep, and he is stacked up. Nobody home except Mustangs. It is Tanner Hagel sniffing out that play for a loss.
This great job of understanding where he should be at as he saw the Renz coming in from, or Reagan coming in from the right to the left. He just stepped up across the line of scrimmage, turned, went down, made a perfect form tackle. Actually a loss on the play.
Third down and long now for the Patriots. 3rd and 8 to be exact. Century's got to get to the 45 for a first down. Dahl out of the gun. They motion Arndt again. This time they fake it to him, and this time Dahl's going to run it up the middle and got to the 40-yard line. Twisted down there after a gain of 3. Going to set up 4th down and 5, and now the Patriots with 4:30 to go in the football game, Chuck. They got to go for it as Parson. Well, he's a leading contender for your MVP of the game right now.
He's just playing so well right now. He's just basically been unblockable right now.
Century, no choice here. They got to go for it as it's 4th and 5 from the 40.
What do you play? The rollout hasn't necessarily worked.
As out of the gun is Dahl. 4th and 5. Dahl's back to pass. Quick hitter near side. He's got Hinderer. First down. As Trayton Hinderer catches it out at the 49-yard line, tackled immediately by the corner Brady Dutenheffer, but that's one of the better passes of the night for Century.
Well, Dutenheffer gave him some room, and that's the play that almost worked before on the other side, Tom, but it got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Hinderer just pushes hard upfield, waits till Dutenheffer kind of turns those shoulders and stops, turns. The ball's right there for a first down.
Century back on the attack from the 49-yard line. Back to passes Dahl. Looking over the middle. Fires. He's got Hinderer again. He's going to have a first down. Century moves the chains. Tackle there by Nick Renner. And the Patriots now into a quick huddle and a 2-minute offense, so to speak, with 3:38 to play in the football game. Century down by 14.
Now they're getting a little rhythm. A 10-yard in that time for Trayton Hinderer, his second consecutive catch. Quarterback 3 of 10 now for 19 net yards.
Brynjolfsson right. A couple receivers left. Now they'll motion Renz. Fake it to him on a jet sweep. Back to passes Dahl. Brady Dahl now is going to tuck it and run, and he's hit hard. Matt Tribe hit him at the 35-yard line after a 4-yard scramble by the quarterback, Brady Dahl.
Boy, and they had the play set up that they've ran 3 times successfully this year, where they took the tackle or the tight end, Kyan Sorensen, they went right up the seam. He was wide open. The quarterback could not see him.
As Century now 2nd down and 7 from the Mustang 35-yard line. This is the best drive of the night for the Patriots, but the clock is down to 2:42 to play in the game. Back to pass is Dahl. Rush is on. Dahl, flag flies in. Dahl is going to be knocked down. Hit down there by the strong safety, Tate Gustafson. And this one's probably coming back.
Yeah, I think there's a hold. The official was looking at that left side of the line for the Patriots. And Parson has been so good tonight. It was Parson who was being double teamed.
As the hold will be whistled on the Patriots.
Holding called
from the 38-yard line, so it'll go all the way back to the 48-yard line on that hold.
Patriots still with 2 timeouts remaining. Cheyenne with their full allotment of 3 timeouts, as Jeremy Newton will accept the penalty. It'll push the football back to the 45-yard line. Century's got to get to the 29 for a first down. Second and about 17 yards to go for the Patriots. Dahl out of the gun. Fake it to Bosley. Dahl rolling left. Now he steps in the pocket, steps up, rolling right. He's got time. Does he have any receivers? Now Dahl reverses his field. Now he's going to have to throw it, fires it, and that is picked off again. Looking for Hinderer, and stepping in front of that pass was Nick Renner, and that's going to be Century's 3rd turnover, 3rd interception here in the football game. And with 2:14 to play in the game, that'll about seal it here for the Cheyenne Mustangs.
Well, great athletic ability by the quarterback, trying to extend the play. And at that point in time, Todd, you just turn and throw out of bounds, right? You know, you kind of you learn to live another day and another play in this instance, and ultimately just there was nobody open. And good pressure by the Mustangs.
Yeah, now Century with his 2 timeouts remaining. Cheyenne will bunch it up. The wing tee, a couple standing tight ends there. Snapped a working team, handoff straight ahead. And it's going to be Josh Henricks, and a quick timeout called by Ron Wingenbach of Century. A Hubbard National Insurance timeout called 355-3100, and ask for Michael Borman for your commercial insurance needs. Timeout on the field from West Fargo tonight. 2:07 to play in the football game, and Cheyenne leads on your BNC Bank scoreboard 14-0. We're back after this timeout on the PSP Network.
West Fargo.
Reach for your glasses? See clearly with LASIK from Bismarck LASIK. Imagine no more hassles or expenses of glasses and contacts. At Bismarck LASIK, our highly experienced LASIK surgeon, Dr. Stephen Wexler, and our state-of-the-art clinic can improve your vision through a quick corrective procedure that's affordable and life-changing. Book your free consultation with Bismarck LASIK. Call 701-222-2020, 701-222-2020, or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
For the Mustangs.
Race Wilson on the carry on 2nd down and 8. And Wilson gets a couple as there's a
shot made by number 20, Ryan
tangle up there is Ryan Brynjolfsson.
Now they're trying to hold him up and trying to rip the ball out.
Patriots on the tackle.
And now with 1:40 to play in the football game, 1 timeout remaining for Century, and an all-important 3rd down and 2 coming for Cheyenne as they'll let this play clock drip down.
And a long 2 for the Mustangs.
Cheyenne fakes that motion, and now you get a flag fly. And
I don't know if he jumped across, Todd. That's kind of what.
You get a false start.
Oh, okay. That's why he took one little right foot forward. That was Schweigert, and then I think the left guard kind of jumped backwards.
1:22, the clock stops. Going to be a motion penalty.
Call against the Mustangs
on West Fargo Cheyenne, and that'll put them back to the 44-yard line, and it makes it 3rd down and 7.
Makes it 3rd and 7 for the
Cheyenne.
Mustangs.
3rd down and 7. Waning moments of the 4th quarter here. They option it near side. Working team. And he comes down late as you have somebody hitting him high. Somebody hit him low, and the guy up high might have got a face mask.
Well, any chance they had at all is pretty much might be done right there, as you got to get 15 yards on that stop. They could have potentially got the football back, as working team was brought down after just a short couple-yard gain.
It's going to be a 5-yard face mask, it looks like. So
still be short. So
3rd down and short upcoming for
Penalty
Cheyenne.
called for face mask on the Patriots. That is a 5-yard penalty. Makes it 3rd and short for the Mustangs.
3rd down and 1 for West Fargo Cheyenne. Is Cheyenne now? Henricks probably going to get the call here as it's a straight-ahead run for guess who? Josh Henricks, and that's a 1st down for the Mustangs.
Was there any doubt? Carried by number 32,
Central
Josh
will burn their
Henricks.
final timeout. A Hubbard National Insurance timeout on the field. Cheyenne will be kneeling it away when we come back. 4th quarter, 1:01 to play. BNC Bank scoreboard at Cheyenne 14, Century nothing.
1:01 remaining here at West Fargo Cheyenne.
Here's your real answer. BSC offers hands-on training and a real college experience, making your future a reality. You don't have to travel far and wide for a really great education. Check us out at bismarckstate.edu.
Got big plans? No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options, and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
West Fargo Cheyenne takes a knee, and now Cheyenne into that victory formation. Working team takes another knee, and with under 30 seconds to play, Cheyenne will not have to punt the football. Football away, and the Century 29-game winning streak comes to an end tonight from West Fargo Cheyenne as the Mustangs move to 7-1 on the season. Check that, 8-0 on the season. Century falls to 7-1 on the season as number 2 West Fargo Cheyenne defeats Century tonight 14-0 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Our Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show comes up next. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farmer business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online at planningteam.com. Once again, BNC National Bank final score tonight from West Fargo. It's West Fargo Cheyenne 14 and Century 0.
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash leader valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics. Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial. Post-game show. Planning Team Financial Advisors, here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit them online, planningteam.com. Now for the Planning Team Financial post-game show.
Now we're back at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium in West Fargo, North Dakota tonight for this 11 AA high-profile matchup, and this one goes to the hands of the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. 14-0 is your final score on your BNC National Bank scoreboard, and we welcome you to our Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show. Planning Team Financial Advisors helping clients work towards financial freedom, as Chuck Claremont's made his way down on the sideline, and he's got, looks like Jeremy Newton and maybe he's got Theron Parsons, a couple of the guys that had their fingerprints all over this football game. So we'll send it down to Chuck Claremont on the sidelines. Take it away, Chuck.
You're doing top.
Yeah, take it away, Chuck.
You got me?
Yep.
Are we good? All right. Coach, what a win. I mean, guys that come out tonight and get the for you point against the Patriots in the last two. You came out, you got us right down, you punched them right in the
guys, they came out and played well. They were hungry. They wanted this. You get beat up the last couple times, and that hopefully that did. So we actually.
And for you, a lot of people were looking at, including us, were looking at the defensive side, and a unit tonight that came out and absolutely stopped the Patriots. I don't think they had 50.
That was the best that we played as a team on defense today. Yeah, we're not the biggest, and whatever, but they play well together, and I really appreciate that about them.
Everybody in your team played well, from the linemen to the linebackers to your guys in the backfield to your running backs, your quarterback. I mean, just a full team football game today.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And that's what it takes to beat a team like that, too, is we have to play well together and as a team, and that's what we did.
And do you take too much out of this? I know it's a victory against the number one ranked Patriots. They ran 29 in a row off against North Dakota competition. But ultimately, what are you taking out of this outside of another victory?
Well, we made a step in the right direction, and we made sure that we can play with Bismarck Century, and now we know that no matter who we come across, we can play. If we play our game, we're gonna do okay.
And how do you build on this win?
I mean, I think for what we want to do is try not to inflate ourselves too much at this point in time.
Great win, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, Theron Parsons, tell you what, an amazing job for you, young man. I thought they couldn't block you tonight, and you came into this game, and I'm sure you a little undersized against that big offensive line of the Patriots, but tell you what, you dominated the line of scrimmage, and you were all over the ball tonight.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of hard work and practice. We go hard. Got to keep the form down. That's a huge part of it. You just got to have good form, get off the ball good, and work hard.
Did you guys come into this football game? I mean, what was your confidence level knowing you haven't scored against the Patriots in 8 quarters? You came out tonight. Literally, it was the very first possession you stuffed the Patriots tonight, and then everyone from there forward, it just kept building off of that.
Yeah, we were pretty fired up. You got to have confidence coming into a game. You can't come in thinking you're going to lose just because they're seen as the best. But we just had to work harder, and I think that's what got us the win.
And for you to come out against some guys that are going to be all-state type of linemen, against a Lucas Schweiger, who so many people are talking about this guy being the best lineman in the state, you showed some people today, I think, that, hey, don't forget about 55, right?
Yeah, I tried my hardest.
Well, big victory for you, and Tell me what this means to you guys in terms of moving forward with this victory.
We got to keep working. You can't just take a week off because you had a big win. So we just got to keep working, try and go undefeated this year, and then keep working to the playoffs.
Congratulations, great victory.
Thank you.
All right, TD, back to you. I think pretty humbled. I like how their coach is. I like how Theron Parson is. They're excited, but not overly excited. And that's one of the pieces, as you heard Coach Newton say, I don't want to be overconfident. And I didn't see that at all from this football team tonight. Back to you.
Yeah, well done. That's Chuck Claremont down on the sidelines, as you heard there from head coach Jeremy Newton, and also from a guy that, boy, he was wall-to-wall good tonight for West Fargo Sheyenne. Theron Parsons was a guy that had his fingerprints on that victory tonight for West Fargo Sheyenne. Our planning team financial advisors post-game show rolls on. We'll give you a final BNC Bank scoreboard update tonight. We'll give you our player of the game, our move of the game, and we'll set our upcoming schedule on the PSP network. A final score from West Fargo tonight on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's West Fargo Sheyenne ending Century's 29-game winning streak, and the Mustangs win this one 14-0 over Century. We're back after this break on the PSP network.
That's there for you.
When you come in with your business plan, your vision, your idea, we can make it a reality.
I love seeing projects come alive for our clients.
We're real people helping real people.
We know you, and we're always happy to see you.
We build relationships. You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
Yours truly, BNC.
This live digital radio broadcast presentation on the PSP network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at PSP.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
The North Dakota Safety Council is dedicated to preventing injuries and saving lives by offering hundreds of safety courses. The NDSC helps workers return home safely every night and make sure schools are ready for any emergency. Our first aid training and defensive driving courses help save lives. We empower people through personal protection courses and operational risk assessments for businesses. We're a private, nonprofit organization committed to making North Dakota's homes, schools, communities, workplaces, and roads the safest in the nation. Learn more at ndsc.org.
Would you enjoy waking up and not having to reach for your glasses? See clearly with LASIK from Bismarck LASIK. Imagine no more hassles or expenses of glasses and contacts. At Bismarck LASIK, our highly experienced LASIK surgeon, Dr. Stephen Wexler, and our state-of-the-art clinic can improve your vision through a quick corrective procedure that's affordable and life-changing. Book your free consultation with Bismarck LASIK. Call 701-222-2020, 701-222-2020, or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
Big plans? No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
Planning Team Financial Postgame Show. Planning Team Financial Advisors, here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit them online, planningteam.com. Now for the Planning Team Financial Postgame Show.
And what many people predict is going to be a Dakota Bowl preview tonight from West Fargo. West Fargo Cheyenne has the upper hand as they win this one 14-0. Cheyenne scores touchdowns in the first and second quarters. No scoring in the second half. As all in all, there's some things to take away here for the Century Patriots. They played much better in the second half. They moved the ball a little bit in that final drives of the game, and they stiffened on the defensive side. But, hey, that first quarter was too much to overcome as first half as Cheyenne wins this one 14-0. Century's 29-game winning streak comes to an end tonight in West Fargo as West Fargo Cheyenne, it moves to 8-0 on the season in this East-West matchup as Century falls to 7-1. Next action for the Patriots will be next Thursday against Minot at home. Next action for West Fargo Cheyenne will be at home next week against Fargo Davies. So a few things to take care of here in our Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show. Is Planning Team Financial Advisors, they're helping clients towards financial freedom. And first, Chuck, let's run through the numbers, and then I'll give everybody a BNC Bank scoreboard update here. Here's your individual and team stats as Cheyenne wins this one 14-0 over Century.
All right, for the Patriots, they were led in rushing by Peyton Arndt, had 8 carries for 20 yards, or 7 carries for 20 yards. I should say, did not rush the football the second half. Brady Dahl had 10 carries for 20 yards. Jacob Bosley, 1 for 0. Trevor Reagan came in to spell Arndt in the second half, had 4 carries for 2 yards, and then Jacob Renz had 1 for 5. Tough day throwing the football for Brady Dahl. He was 3 for 11 for 19 yards and 3 interceptions tonight. Arndt had 1 catch for -1, and Trayton Hinderer had 2 catches for 20 yards. For the Cheyenne Mustangs, they were led in rushing by Race Wilson, 18 carries, 81 yards. Josh Hendricks, the big fullback, 21 carries for 71 yards. Connor Entz had 5 carries for 12 yards. Grant Workentine had 4 for 5 yards. There were 2 touchdowns rushing in this football game as Josh Hendricks had a 1-yard run, and then Connor Entz had a 4-yard run. Grant Workentine was 4 for 8. So 50% for 40 yards. Here's what I was looking through this going, because what we got coming up is a jobber's move of the game, right? So I'm looking at through this piece going, what's the big move of the game? Todd, this is what's crazy about this, as the Mustangs ran total plays today. They ran 56 plays. Okay, so let's do the team statistics, then I'll kind of come back to this because it was just kind of this eye-opener of, as the Patriots was 24 carries for 47 yards rushing. Double that, 48 carries, 48 rushes for the Mustangs for 169 yards. So the first team that have gone over 100 yards rushing against the Patriots. The Patriots had 3 completions for 19 yards, 4 completions for Cheyenne for 40. So 35 plays for Century for 66 yards. 56 plays for Cheyenne for 209 yards. So the Patriots only gave up 14 points and 209 yards. And they didn't give up a play more than 13 yards. I mean, that was the biggest play in terms of rushing. Hendricks had 21 carries. His biggest run, he had a 13-yard run, 1 run. Outside of that, there was a 13-yard pass play to Hendricks again. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous when you look at, you're looking at under a 4-yard average per play, but yet you thoroughly dominated this football game. So it's just a crazy thing to take a look at that. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
I'm telling you, it's 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Oh, boy, you got that right. 5 penalties for the Patriots, 3 for Cheyenne. Patriots just 4 first downs, 1 in the first half. They had 3 on their final drive, as Todd mentioned. 16 first downs for the Mustangs. And here's what the difference was. Sacks, 2 sacks for Cheyenne. Patriots didn't have any. Parson had 1, and
Renner, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Renner. Renner had one of the 3 interceptions, as Kellen Entz had an interception, and Tanner Hagel had an interception. It was
Carter Menz had the sack.
Thank you, Carter Menz. Thank you.
Yep.
Exactly.
My bad. I led you astray there.
No, it's all right. He had the sack. So it was 3 tackles for losses, and 2 sacks were huge for the Cheyenne Mustangs, and Century just couldn't get anything going on. So just pretty amazing where defensively the Patriots going to look at this and go, wow, we didn't. Within a couple of drives in that first half. In the second half, the drives for Cheyenne, I mean, there was, I guess they had a few first downs, but ultimately the Patriots did a pretty good job defensively in that second half, but they just couldn't get anything going on. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had 6 3-and-outs tonight, and including had 3 interceptions on the other the other possessions. So dominated from the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the ball for Sheyenne. Pretty impressive victory for these guys. I think that's their second victory. Actually, Century was 4-1 coming into this game against Sheyenne. So it's just the second victory in the history against the Patriots. But more importantly, I think just the confidence they got in this football game, Todd, and but not overconfident. I liked the coach. I was just impressed with listening to the coach talk, and then a very well-spoken young man, and Theron Parson just said, hey, we're just going to be humble. We're going to move forward, and we're going to look at the next game and see how things turn out. And I was listening to him in the huddle after the football game, and he, they were excited. Okay, let's not get around that. And as much as I could hear with the music screaming in my ear, I don't think the players could hardly hear the coach. But ultimately, it was they were just locked into their coach. Todd. And then bottom line is you can tell this team is excited, but not overconfident. So impressive victory tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree with you more about that assessment. Is you didn't hear one thing out of those kids' mouth that kind of overemphasized this win in this game. Yeah, it's a big win, but in the grand scheme of things, they still realize that there's a lot of work to be done if they want to get to where they want to get to.
And even watching them play, you didn't see the over celebration. You didn't see, I just saw a well coached and very disciplined football team there tonight for
lunch pail.
Lunch pail, absolutely.
A lunch pail effort. And guess what? Number one in 11 AA football goes down tonight as the Century Patriots lose, and number one in single A football goes down as well as Bowman springs the upset over number one Beulah 34-8. So number one in 11 AA and number one in 11A. Both lose tonight. Oh yeah, 11B. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, things have changed.
Yep, they were still number one, but
exactly.
So two number ones fall tonight. As a great job in those individual and team stats. Couple updated scores here on your BNC National Bank scoreboard has Legacy defeating Bismarck High tonight, 38-22. Final score in has. I don't know if the rest of these are final, but we're going to pass them along to you. Last reports we had West Fargo leading Mandan 13-7, Jamestown topping Minot 14-0, Shanley all over Red River 35-0, Fargo South leading Devils Lake 28-7, and that would be the finals that I have. In addition to that, Bowman defeating Beulah score. All right, Chuck, it's time now for our MVP of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips. Be the MVP when you go to Sport Clips for the MVP haircut experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel quite like that MVP experience at Sport Clips. They're located on South 3rd Street in Bismarck, and tonight's MVP of the contest, I think we heard from him.
Yeah, I think so. Theron Parson. He was one of those kids who just you couldn't block him, and he was if he wasn't getting the sack, he surely was forcing a quarterback to get out of the pocket, or he was forcing somebody to cut back, and he was all over the field. We saw 55, 55, 55 and time again. So right tonight it was basically the Patriots couldn't drive or block 55.
I'm going to give you, so congratulations to Theron Parsons. He's our player of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips. You can go to the MVP haircut experience at Sport Clips at South 3rd Street in Bismarck. Sport Clips brings you tonight's game MVP, Theron Parsons of West Fargo Cheyenne. Here's our upcoming schedule on the PSP Network. It'll have next Wednesday, we'll be at St. Mary's for Watford City at the St. Mary's Saints from Schmeeker Field. And then doubleheader action on Thursday night, Minot at Century and Legacy at Mandan. And then we'll have on October 23rd, 11B or 9B playoffs. And check out psp.network for our upcoming playoff schedule. All right, last thing we have to do, and it's to bring you our move of the game. I gave you a couple extra seconds to think about that. All right.
I got it.
Excellent. I bet you it's going to be somebody on the defensive side for Cheyenne as they pitch the shutout tonight. Their fourth shutout of the season, and they forced 3 turnovers in the process. Our move of the game brought to you by Jobbers, where they focus on the details of the process without ever losing sight of the big picture. Step-by-step move management keeps everyone on the same page, and it has comprehensive service with proactive checks, double checks, and ongoing communication to make sure every detail of your move is taken care of. Locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. JobbersWarehouse.com. That's where you'll find them. And tonight's move of the game brought to you by Jobbers is...
So let me set this up. So the Patriots, they get a 3-and-out. They kick, they punt, or they punt to West Fargo. They drive down, they score. They're up 6-0. And then ultimately the Patriots get the football back. They pick up a first down, Todd, at the 49-yard line. They get a 3-yard run. Then they get a loss. Then what do? They go for a deep pass over the middle, and stepping in front of the receiver was Kellen Enns, a big interception, and that led to that 19-play, 86-yard, 10-minute and 49-second drive. So tonight our jobbers move of the game is Kellen Enns, the 6'4" free safety for the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs.
And there was probably two of the bigger playmakers on that defensive side of the football. I mean, Tribe had a great game defensively, but, hey, Kellen Enns gets your jobbers move of the game, and Theron Parsons is your MVP of the game, keynoting that Sheyenne defense. All right, that'll put a wrap on our broadcast tonight. Big thanks to our in-game sponsors, including BNC National Bank for bringing our scoreboard, our timeout sponsors, as always, Hub International Insurance, game sponsors, the Medicine Shop of Bismarck, Tires Plus, Chuppy Clinic of Bismarck, and our post-game show, including the entire post-game, brought to you by Planning Team of Financial Advisors, and the two things you just heard, the player of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips, and the jobbers move of the game. Back on the air next week, Watford City and St. Mary's on Wednesday nights. Doubleheader action in the capital city has Minot and Century, and Bismarck and Legacy, Legacy and Mandan, I beg your pardon. Bismarck and Legacy played tonight. Legacy and Mandan doubleheader tomorrow or next week on Thursday on the PSP network. That'll do it from West Fargo tonight. Repeating your final score for my partner Chuck Claremont, I'm Todd Domrys. It's Century following tonight as West Fargo Sheyenne wins this one 14-0. Sheyenne remains undefeated. Century falls to 7-1. Thanks for joining us. Drive safe, everyone, and so long from Mustang Field in West Fargo.
Radio broadcast presentation on the PSP network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at PSP.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.